And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live on the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. Thank you for joining me. It's going to be a whole lot going on tonight, all over the internet, all over the mainstream media, all of social media. Joy Reid of MS13 DNC might be fired. She might be losing the show coming up here in the spring. Rumor has it. I can't say that for 100% certainty, but I think it's going to be a wrap for her. We'll talk about that. Also, Tim Pool got swatted, not by the federales, but by local authorities. My brother Brandon Tatum was there. Could have been dangerous, but fortunately it wasn't. We'll talk about that in a minute. Also, this crazy mother out there in Texas decided to place her 13-year-old in the trunk of her car because he had the bug. That's a whole big story right there I want to get into in a little bit. We have an update on the Antonio Brown kerfuffle. Why he took his jersey and pads off, threw him on the ground, and threw his shirt and gloves off and to the stands. We'll talk about that in a minute. Also, we got to talk about this Supreme Court situation with the vax mandate. So I guess they're hearing arguments, or they're giving their arguments, I guess, in favor or against the whole vax mandate for private companies with more than 100 employees. We'll talk about that in depth and a whole lot more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And thank y'all for being here yet again. You guys are the best audience anywhere on the internet. If you enjoyed what you've heard thus far, if you enjoyed the content in general, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. And if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, please do so. That'll help me out tremendously, and I thank you in advance. Sponsors first, and then we're going to get to the topics. Again, thank y'all for being here. Definitely appreciate you guys. But shout out to me, first of all. Shout out to me, my particular websites, two websites. My main two websites. I got other ones you don't know about, but anyway. My main two websites, ablmerch.com. We got hats, t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, mugs, and more over on ablmerch.com. Check it out right now. Links in the box, or just go to it in your browser, wherever you at, your phone, your computer, laptop. ablmerch.com. Check it out right now today. Also, go to my regular website, anthonyblogan.com. I get a lot of questions all the time saying, hey, where can I email you? Where can I send you something? All that is answered on my regular website, anthonyblogan.com. Check it out right there on the contact page. I got my email, my snail mail, my social media accounts, what I'm on, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that's right there on the website. And of course, for every video, there's an article. It might be a short article, long article, doesn't really matter. There's always sources for whatever I say. So I don't just bring data out of the clear blue sky. I always have sources. I mean, for something like if I say something simple like 2 + 2 is 4, must I source that? You understand? But for my actual stories, information, I always source it from all types of news, left, right, center, independent, etc. over on anthonyblogan.com. Also, check out bhedesigns.com. They make these beautiful handmade American wooden flags that are right behind me. I get emails every single day saying, hey, where can I get those flags? Well, now you know if you didn't already, bhedesigns.com. Check them out right now. You can get those that are behind me just like that, or one of your very own, or a few of your very own. Check them out right now in the description box. That is bhedesigns.com. Also, go to patriotpost.us, the best source of news and information anywhere on the internet. As I was just saying about my website with my sources, this is the best source of all the sources. And you also got memes and stuff like that on there. You get everything from iPads, real sources, opinion pieces, whatever you want over on patriotpost.us. Been around for a really long time, about 25 years. Very well respected. Check them out right now in the description box of this video. Also, this video will be available audio only in podcast form. You can go to the link in the description box, or you can just go to your favorite audio streaming platform, Apple iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, Anchor, etc., and search ABL Live. I should pop right on up. And while you're over there, please give me a 5-star rating, a review, a share, a comment. whatever you can to help, I'd appreciate you if you did. Now, let's get straight to the stuff. Where are we going to start with the topics? Because we got a whole lot that I want to get into. I think I'm going to start with Antonio Brown, right? I'm going to start with Antonio Brown, and then I'm going to kind of meander my way through the other stuff. The AB thing is kind of a way to kind of break the ice, I suppose. Now, a lot of you guys might not be into sports, so I'm going to start with this one and then get more into the political stuff as the show goes on. So Antonio Brown, he plays for the Buccaneers out there in Tampa Bay, wide receiver, been in the league for a long time, since 2010. And you guys, if you know, being in the league for 11 years is like an eternity. That's like being a whole tortoise that's about to be at the end of your life. You understand? Like 1,000-year-old, however old they get. But anyway, the average career in the NFL is 3 years, if I'm not mistaken, 3.5. So to be there 11 years, it takes a lot. Now, this guy has been troubled, I want to say almost from the start, but definitely in the past, I say 5 to 6 years. Definitely troubled. Now, I don't know if he's just like this, if it's just AB being AB, Antonio Brown, AB for short. I'm not sure if it's just him being him, if it's a troubled person, or if it's the fact that he got hit back in 2016 by Vontaze Burfict, right? That was the nastiest hit. That was one of the craziest hits I've seen in a long time. Defenseless receiver, didn't see what was coming, and boom, he just got hit. Like, it was crazy. Knocked him out cold, concussion. And we all know about the CTE thing. I mean, there's been movies about it. What was that movie with Will Smith in it with that really bad Nigerian accent? Oh, my brother. I think my Nigerian is better than Will Smith's. What do y'all think? But anyway, there's been movies about it, documentaries about it. You see guys come on TV looking crazy, looking like really disheveled, talking about their time in the NFL and all the drugs they're on to keep them on the field, to reduce the pain, all that kind of stuff. Now, I understand these are grown men. They're making their own decision. But at a certain point, let's look at the reality of what's happening. You've had guys go on shooting rampages that, went and did themselves as well. And they did an autopsy and they found CTE in their brain. If you don't know, CTE is a brain disease that we think, if I'm not mistaken, is caused by blunt force trauma to the head. So if you're playing football or even if you're boxing and you taking them hits across the middle, running them slant routes, or you're getting sat as a quarterback a whole lot and your head is snapping and whipping and stuff like that, or if you're a boxer, you keep getting punched in the face over and over again, that might cause some problems, right? Like Muhammad Ali. I mean, he didn't get Parkinson's at like 40 years old for nothing. Obviously, if you keep getting hit in the head over and over again, that might cause some problems. And with Muhammad Ali, it was really sad because he was in the boxing ring with Parkinson's, like toward the end when he fought Larry Holmes. That was really sad to see. But anyway, I digress. The point is that there's some injuries you get while being a professional athlete. Some are visible, some not quite so visible. I'm not sure if AB has a mental issue caused by CTE or if he was crazy from the very beginning. Or how about this? You could be crazy from the beginning and also have some kind of, brain disorder because of getting hit across the field, repetitively. Having that combined is like, the worst thing you could do. Already being crazy and then being hit more as you're playing football to become crazier. But I'll move on. So Antonio Brown's had problems. He had problems in Pittsburgh when he was playing with Ben Roethlisberger and the head coach Mike Tomlin. And then he went to the Patriots. He went to the Raiders first, and that didn't work out at all. He had problems there, was trying to fight in the locker room. And what was crazy is he tried to fight in the locker room, and his teammate that held him back was Vontaze Burfict, the same guy that hit him really bad in 2016. And he was on the Raiders in 2019. So funny how that worked. But anyway, then he went to the Patriots with Tom Brady, won a championship. Tom Brady leaves, goes to Tampa Bay, and AB comes with him. And you got Gronk over there and everything else. They're trying to run it back, do it again. And, matter of fact, he won a championship in Tampa, my fault. So he was in New England with Tom Brady, and then he went to Tampa and won a championship with Tom Brady and Gronk and the whole squad. So he's out there playing, and we're toward the end of the year. Now, here comes the issue with some of the NFL guys. That kind of makes sense even beyond sports, and this might be the motivating factor behind what happened. So AB decided, you know what, all right, it's the next to the last game, not the last game. I thought it was the last game, but it wasn't because the NFL added an extra game. They normally, before this year, I believe had 16 games, but they added one more game to make a total of 17. So I saw their record, and it said something like 12-3 or something like that. Like the number of their record before they actually won was the equivalent to 15 games. So I'm like, okay, this is the last game then, right? Because the game is not over. They got one more game, and then it had to be 16. So that's the end of the season. But nope, they had one more game, 17 games. So we're at the next to the last game of the season, and AB is he's upset because he's not really getting the ball. He's not getting the ball thrown to him. And the way the NFL works is that a lot of these contracts are incentive laden. So if you get a certain number of catches, certain number of yards, a certain number of touchdowns, you're able to get more money. And he was up for 3 incentives that would have been worth $333,333.33 each to make an equivalent of $1 million. So he's out there with a bum ankle, probably because he wants that money, right? His ankle was messed up. He was questionable before the game, but he was like, you know what? I see them dollar signs, right? I see these incentives right in front of my face. I'm going to get that money. My ankle is torn up, but guess what? It's fine. I can still run. It hurts crazy. They put me on some pills, tore it all. They still got that. Shoot me up with some pills, with some drugs, take some pills. I'll be fine. I'm going to go out there and play on this bad ankle because I'm trying to get that money, right? I might take it off of my life, but I need the money right now. So he was out there trying to get the money, but he's not getting the ball. He's not getting these touches. So in his mind, he's like, you know what? All right, I'm not getting the ball. My ankle is killing me. I'm frustrated on the sideline. I don't want to go in. I don't want to go in. They're saying, hey, man, you got to go into the game. I don't want to go in. Why? Because I'm not getting the ball. I'm not getting my incentives. I have no reason to go out there and play. I'm not getting my $1 million. He has a contract, but now all of that is guaranteed. I'm trying to get this extra money, and you're not giving me the touches. How about I sit out? So Bruce Arians said, that's it. You're done. That's what the coach, that's probably how he sounds. I don't know how he sounds, but anyway, you're done. So when he did that and said you're done, that's when the jersey came off. That's when the pads came off. That's when the shirt came off. And then he threw it into the actual stands, right? So that's what happened. Now, I'm not sure if that was all because of his mental state from being hit, or if he was already crazy before, or if it was the money. But I think the money was a motivating factor, 100%. It's always all about money. The extra game in the NFL is purely about money. The contract thing, trying to get incentives and trying to be out there playing when you probably shouldn't be because you got a bum ankle, it's all about money. It's all centered around money and the drive for more money. But I've never seen that before in my life. I've never seen a guy storm off the field during the game, walking through the end zone. The game is happening behind him. The teams are on the field. They're throwing the ball. He's walking on the field through the end zone and waving at the crowd. It was crazy. He caught an Uber back to probably his hotel room and then went to a Brooklyn Nets basketball game after that, like later on that night or the next day. It was really weird. But he's been going on kind of a media blitz, doing interviews, talking about Tom Brady. His guy threw me under the bus and he owed me some money. And it was one girl that he snuck into the hotel before the game. Just strange. Just strange. So to sum it on up, I think that guys like AB, you got some mental problems there. There's something ain't really clicking. Like I said in my video, the engine is running, but I hear a funny noise. Let's investigate the funny noise to see what's happening because we don't want the engine to fall out of the bottom of the vehicle. We want the car to keep running, right? That's kind of how I see it. And I could also say, you know, somebody, you might get a few trees short of a forest, a few crayons short of an entire box. Something's not quite right there, okay? It's just not running on all cylinders. Everything's not the way it's supposed to be. You might be able to go out there and catch some footballs and play, which is why he's out there, because understand this. If he was a trash football player, he would have been gone from the league because you out here in balconies, throwing furniture from the top of you on the 14th floor throwing down furniture, almost hitting a 22-year-old Google Gaga, a baby, like a toddler almost. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Okay, you're assaulting your trainer, allegedly, all types of just weird stuff, unnecessary stuff. Throwing your jersey and stuff on the ground in the middle of a game. Stuff like that would get you cut. And he did get cut from the team eventually. From the Buccaneers, to get released from the team. But, I mean, if it was anyone else with lesser skill, they would have been cut. Colin Kaepernick, oh, I'm being blackballed from the league. Are you being blackballed or are you just trash? Like, what's really going on? Tell me the real story. If Colin Kaepernick were a great quarterback, if he could be Tom Brady, then they would still have him in the league. If he wanted to take a secondary role, be on the bench, he'd still be in the league. But he wants to be out there in the front. And he don't even want to play, really, Colin Kaepernick. He has no desire to play. He wants you to think that he wants to play, because if he can make you think he wants to play, he can say, you know what, I'm a victim. They're blackballing me. They don't want me in the league. He can say that just to help his brand. But the reality is he don't want to play. He don't want to go out there and risk getting a concussion, and for a veteran minimum, like $1 million. Why do that? He can go out there and be everyone's spokesperson. I saw Colin Kaepernick on an exercise bike commercial. Just really random on a bike. It's like, what? I'm watching HGTV, right? Minding my business. Okay, I'm looking at home demos and shiplap going up and paint on the wall. And here we see Colin Kaepernick with the most beautiful afro in the world, manicured, picked out, makeup done on an exercise bike. It's like, really, sir? So you're talking about capitalism being bad, socialism being the wave, and all this, Che Guevara, all this and that. You're talking about all that, but yet I see you on the cover of all these magazines, Ben & Jerry ice cream, exercise bikes, Nike shoes. It's like, sir, I mean, if I can get all your sponsors, I'll be living La Vida Loca, right? If I can get all the sponsors, I'll be very, very well off. But I don't speak against capitalism. I embrace capitalism, but this guy does not. This is what they do. They tell you, the average normie out there, to not engage in capitalism. It's evil, it's destructive, it's inhumane, it's exploitive, but they engage in it. Just like Black Lives Matter, the lady had a whole real estate portfolio worth like $3.4 million. She tells you, don't engage in that because that's the white man system. It's evil, it's destructive, but she does it. Colin Kaepernick does it. They all do it. This is just what it is. Okay, same thing with this whole masking kerfuffle. You see these people in politics, on the left especially, talking about, oh, wear a mask everywhere, masks save lives, all this, that, and the third. But then when you see them out in public, like Gavin Newsom going to French Laundry, no mask on at all. Amy Klobuchar, Elizabeth Warren, Maxine Waters, no mask on at all. These people are all like 1,000 years old as well. Maxine Waters, what's it, like 80-something years old? I think Nancy Pelosi is 86 years old. So let me get this straight. You are 86 years old talking about wear a mask, get the vax, get the booster. But then I see you in a place that should be closed, that you were supportive of closing because you want to make everybody be safe with no mask on. That's what you want to do in San Fran. But I can't even go to work. Like, what's really going on? I'll talk about the whole vax mandate thing a little bit later. But you guys are the best audience anywhere on the internet. Thank you for being here. If you enjoy what you're hearing thus far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. You guys are the best. Now let's go ahead and get it rocking and rolling. Oh, yeah, I heard about that. Cedar says, today I heard a Democrat talking about all the new jobs that have been started. Yeah, you know what? It's a weird thing because people aren't talking about all this fake money going around. You could start a business and try to hire people, but good luck because you got all this fake money going around, and people also have that same fake money at their house from the federales. So why go to your business working for fake money? I get the same money at home. The same money you got to start your business and pay employees, people are making at home doing nothing. So what's the purpose in going to work? Okay, this is like in a bubble economy, really. People don't want to work. Everywhere I go, I see help wanted signs. Every single place. That's all over the country. People are talking about that. When I travel, I see the same thing. Help wanted everywhere. It's to the point where, like, if I travel and I go to a particular hotel, I'm reading the recent reviews. And you know what I'm trying to find? Staffing. Is there any staffing problems? Are they staffed enough? Because I heard about some spots where the staffing is just like, hey, man, you got to clean your own room. Bring a Dyson vacuum on your carry-on because we're not going to be in there. We're not cleaning. You know what? The funny part is that I've heard that a lot while traveling. They say, oh, if you want us to clean your room, put someone in front of the door, let us know. Basically, they're trying to say is because, like, when the virus first hit, they started doing that because they didn't really want to be in your space and they wanted to distance. But now they're doing it because there's not enough staff. So they got to just skip your room because they can't get every room quick enough. You see what I mean? That's kind of what's happening. So I'm checking the recent reviews to make sure they're staffed well enough because they might not be. And if the staff ain't there, then I'm not sure what's going to be in them beds. I'm cool. Yeah, I am cool on that. I'll go to a different spot. If I got to pay more money, it is what it is. And you know what? To talk about that right quick, this whole thing about the new jobs that are being created, all kind of stuff. A lot of these restaurants, like a lot of the cheap spots, have no staffing or very minimal staffing. And it's going to get to the point where you can only go to a high price joint to get decent service. So people talking about, oh, well, you got to pay your staff a lot more. You got to, pay them $20 an hour, $25 an hour. I'm like, okay, cool. Let's pay all the staff $25 an hour. It doesn't matter if they're waitresses, if they're bartenders, if whoever they are, the host that doesn't actually wait tables, whatever it is, pay them all this kind of money. And guess what? You can be paying $100 for an entree at your favorite spot. Okay, you gonna be going to Ruth Chris only. Ain't gonna be no Applebee's. Forget about it. Forget about it. So the average person is not going to be able to have a nice time on the town or have a nice little dinner with their family and stuff like that. Nope. No, because you could do the 2 for $20. Remember that whole wave that came around? You could do that, but now, how about 2 for $200? So you got more money. You got all this extra stimulus money, but you don't have it because of inflation. Okay, it's going to tell you what. And I saw a video. I may do a video about. I was watching Dave Ramsey on YouTube. I'm not sure if you guys know who that is, but he's a financial guy. And matter of fact, I'll put it on the screen. I may do a video about this specifically, but I think I'm going to go ahead and just talk about it briefly right now because it's kind of on my mind. And I think it's relevant to the topic of inflation because that's a real thing. I mean, you go to the gas pump, and that's just one sign of it. Go to get some food. I mean, have you bought any kind of any kind of meat lately? Any kind of steak, chicken? Well, not really chicken, but steak and fish especially. It's a crazy mess. It is a whole crazy mess. Matter of fact, hold on, let me find it right quick. I didn't favorite it, but it's costing a lot. And these prices of food are going to make their way to the restaurant. I go to certain spots like routinely, and I've noticed in the past few weeks and few months, they've changed their menus, brand new menus to increase their prices, all of them. They have to because of inflation. If they have to pay more for food, you got to pay it as well. You're going to eat, no pun intended, the cost. The business won't, they can't do it. They're there to make money, not to be a charity service. Okay, prices are going to go up and they're going to just rise exponentially with all this inflation going on. So here's the video I want to show you guys with Dave Ramsey. Shout out to him on YouTube. But I'll just play it and then I'll talk about it afterwards. Hold on and make sure I got my sound. Give me a second here. And yeah, it should be good. Make sure I'm straight.
Okay, I own rental property, single family homes, among many other properties that we own. And if I raise my rent to be market rate, that does not make me a bad Christian. I did not displace the person out of that house if they can no longer afford it. The marketplace did. The economy did. The ratio of the income that they earned to their housing expense displaced them. I didn't cause any of that. And so you are not displacing them. You're taking too much credit for what's going on. If they need to move to a cheaper house because they can't afford, they're going to move to a lesser house. Because if they move, they're going to pay market rent.
Okay, so basically he's talking about a landlord that wrote to them. He didn't call in, he wrote a letter or an email talking about, hey, I don't want to be the guy that raises rent on people because I have great tenants and I like them. I don't want to do it to them, but I have to because my overhead is going up. My costs of operating these homes are going up. So I have to raise my rent to market prices. I got to do it. I have no choice. He's like kind of stuck in a dilemma because he knows if he raises the rent, that might displace some people. But it's like, what am I to do? The market is going up. See, inflation impacts all facets of life, not just, okay, this piece of food costs more at the store. Everything, your shipping, I mean, whatever you can purchase, everything goes up. All of it. Water, power, everything goes up at a certain point. You see what I'm saying? So you may think you have more money right now, but in essence, you don't. All you have is, at best, just money that you would need to try to fight inflation. That's all. That's all you have. So those, like I've seen people talk about, we need another lockdown to get more stimulus money. I've seen that. They say we want to get locked back down to get more stimmy money. So was Kanye right when he said slavery is a choice? Because at a certain point it is. I'm not saying always for those who want to be that kind of person. Oh, you said there's always a choice. It's not always a choice, obviously. But at a certain point, it is sometimes. A lot of times it's a choice. It's easy to be a subject to the government and whatever they tell you to do rather than to go out there and make something for yourself. And I saw a comment I want to respond to. Somebody said that literally everybody's working and nobody can live off like $3,000. You got to make more than that. I mean, come on. Wherever I go, I live out here in an area where there's like a big shopping place, like right down the road. I go out there and every single day I'm seeing bums with help, like, give me some money, please. I don't have any more money. It's help wanted signs on every single store. It's dozens of stores. It's probably about 200 stores in that area. Big area. You got a mall right there, Walmart, Target, Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, brand new spots. You got spots that can't even open because they're so short-staffed. Every single place has a help wanted sign. There are too many jobs, but yet I'm still seeing bums on the street. Why? They don't want to work. Okay. Then you got the baby mamas out here, the welfare queens, whether they be black, white, or whatever, because I'm seeing every race that's a welfare queen. So don't get that twisted. First of the month, as I've said before, it's a human cicada outbreak. First, like I avoid any kind of store that has food in it on the first of the month. Between the 31st, because they might get their cars first on the 31st. Between the 31st and the 5th of the month, I avoid the store. And if I do go, I go early when they're still in the bed sleeping. You understand? Like 9 o'clock in the morning. If I go at 11 o'clock, they're going to be up because that's when they get up. But anyway, I see it. They'll be at the store, first of the month, cart filled to the top. Bunch of kids running around like little dogs. I see it every day, all the time. First of the month especially. Here I am with a hand cart with a couple little items, some chicken, some rice. They got a whole cart full of junk, garbage. And a lot of times they're about 1,000 pounds each. Now, I'm being harsh like that because that's a problem that the government are enabling. What's the point in getting a job and doing better for yourself when you're able to be subsidized? A lot of them might work, but they do like little part-time stuff because they get all this government money. Okay, the earned income tax credit, the boost for that, the unemployment, and all types of stuff, all types of random grant money and everything else. This is the reason why you have a homeless, quote unquote, problem on the left coast. It's not a homeless problem. It's a drug addict enabling problem. I saw a video of this white guy. Matter of fact, let's play that video. Let's play that video. So this ain't no race thing or nothing like that. This is just when the government gives you incentives to do nothing, to sit on your hind parts and collect money. People do it. Not all, but a lot. They do it. Here's a video right here that kind of sums up what I'm talking about as it relates to the whole drug problem. Right? Let's check it out.
Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Here we are with new friend Mark. Mark, tell us where you're from.
From Clear Lake, California.
How long you been on the streets here in San Francisco?
I've been here for about 3 weeks.
3 weeks. Did you smoke fentanyl before you got here?
I was in Sacramento for about a year prior to the 3 weeks that I've been here. So I've been trying to get out of Sacramento, and I finally got out of there. Some lady gave me a ride here.
How long you been homeless?
I've been homeless since I was 18.
Oh, so you're on 10 years now.
Yeah.
So let's pause right here. So he came from Sacramento to San Francisco. He's been homeless for 10 years. He's been in San Fran for like less than a year. So you are homeless, traveling to a new place to be homeless there. Okay. People are flocking to one particular part of San Fran where they know it's cool, it's lit, because you got all kinds of services, you got all kind of money. And you know what? This interview right here is part of the problem. I'm not necessarily trying to attack this man. What's his name? Better Soma, the guy who recorded this. But the issue is that I can almost guarantee he gave him some money to record him and ask him questions. I almost can guarantee it. And you know, if you give a guy on the street some money, they're going to buy drugs. I never give anybody on the street any cash whatsoever. Never, ever. Because they're going to go get high. And I'm not trying to, and that'll be a drug addiction. Okay. If you want to get high on drugs, you want to be a dope fiend, do that with your own dollar, not my dollar, period. But in San Fran, they're doing it on your cash if you pay taxes out there, because they get a lot of taxpayer money, a lot of this NGO money, a lot of this little grant money, a lot of money exchanging hands. They get money, but whoever's giving it to them make money too. You don't just give money without getting your cut right, without getting your taste. Okay. You give him, like, at the top of the month, $2,000, but you have gotten $4,000 before you get it to him. So you take your $2,000, give him $2,000. Matter of fact, it's probably like $10,000 you get, and you keep $8,000, give him $2,000. That's how the whole thing works. So they're enabling the homelessness and the drug addiction and all these societal problems to make money, or for political reasons. That's what it's all about. So I mean, government money, all that kind of, it enables guys like this to be on the street and to be a dope fiend, smoking fentanyl in San Fran, traveling from other parts of the country, not only California, but all over the entire country, Florida, New York, wherever they want to go to LA, be right there on the beach and be a crackhead. That's what they do. They hop in trains, they hitchhiking, they're doing whatever they got to do to get to where they want to go. That's how it goes right now in the US of A. It's a whole little underworld you don't really see too much. You might walk past this guy on the street, but you don't know where he came from, what's going on, how he got there, and what he's doing. You see what I mean? So that's kind of what's happening. Boomhauer says, I saw a panhandler jump up in, he says, I saw a panhandler jump up into an avalanche and drive home. Oh, yeah. I see him all the time. I saw a guy out there like he was camping. It's like, sir, you have on some Carhartt shorts and some boots. Like he had on shorts that were like pressed shorts, some boots and a book bag. It's like, sir, if you don't go back to your house and take care of your kids, man, don't be out here trying to panhandle. Okay, you have a job. You're trying to get extra money. And I saw a guy directly in front of a no soliciting sign on the median talking about please help. And there was more signs behind him at the stores. Help wanted, help wanted, help wanted. And they're paying a lot of money. Burger King, McDonald's, $14 an hour, $15 an hour. So that can't be the excuse either. But I'm getting triggered, so I will go ahead and digress. Thank you for being here yet again. If you like what you're hearing so far, go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. Let's talk about the crazy Texas mom. Now, I did a video, what was it, earlier today? about this lady who was also a teacher. Surprise, surprise. Hey, if you're a teacher and you do right by your students and you do right by society and yourself, then bravo to you. Hats off. You have a very important job. On my dad's side, my granddad and my granddad are both teachers. So, I respect teachers a lot. My granddad was on a debate team back in like the 50s. It was, a different kind of time back then in Roanoke. He was like the only black male on the debate team. But anyway, different story. I don't want to go down memory lane right now with you guys. But the whole issue is that she's a teacher and she was afraid of catching the bug, and her son caught it. Her son is 13 years old. So she had a bright idea to go get tested. But on the way to the testing facility, she put her son in the trunk of the car. Now, we ain't talking about some kind of, like Boomhauer said, an avalanche or nothing like that. It wasn't no truck with a flatbed or an SUV that was covered, like a cargo area that was covered that could still be breathable. You're talking about a Honda Civic, a Honda Accord, a Toyota Corolla or something like that. A sedan trunk. You put him in that. Now, I kind of touched on it a little bit in the video, but I kind of wanted to go back to that. 13 years old, really? When I was 13, I was already like pretty much this size right now. I'm 6'3", 215 pounds right now today. When I was 13, I was like a good 5'10", 5'11", and 200 pounds already. I was a pretty big kid. Like when I had my growth spurt at like 19 years old, I was like probably about 5'8" at age 10. Before that, I was pretty short. But anyway, if you're 13 years old, you probably understand what's going on. It's like, hey, mom, you know what? I don't want to get in the trunk of the car. You got all your, your wigs and your purses back here. I'm cool. I ain't trying to be in the trunk. Can I get in the back seat? Nah, you got the bug. Go in the trunk. The dumbest thing in the world. Like, okay, let's just think for a moment. You're afraid of catching the bug, right, mom? Okay, I got you. How about I go in the car, but keep the windows rolled down? It could be cold in Houston, Texas, maybe, but I'm just saying, roll the windows down for me, perhaps, and you can get fresh air coming in, and you're not necessarily worried about it. Matter of fact, you know what? If we're driving, the air is moving really quick through the windows. It's circulating really good, right? So you ain't got to worry about it. It's cold, but it's fine because, if it's cold, you're just inconvenienced in a minor way rather than me being in the trunk of the car, because if you get into an accident, this is going to be an accordion. I'm going to be, paper mache back there. I'm going to be, a sheet of paper crumpled up. Let's not have that happen to me in the trunk of the car. But, or how about I go with somebody else? I could just stay home. Why must I go with you to the testing place? I'm 13 years old. I can watch myself. I'll be all right. When I was 15, my mom left the country. She left and she went to Italy because it was some business stuff she had to do. So I was like 15, 16. I think I was like 15. She left. Yeah, and I was fine. Like I could take care of. I'm pretty independent. You know what I mean? I'm not sure where their dad or anybody is. That's a different story. But I was straight. Nothing happened. It was all good. I was a responsible young man. But she was gone for like a month. Now, if she can do that and leave me home and I'm straight at 15, if you're 13, you can't stay home by yourself for a minute, for like just a few hours, like 2 hours during the day to get a test. Anyway, she put the boy in the trunk of the car, and she's going to get arrested. She might be on the run right now because they said they went to her house, the news that is, and they couldn't find her, didn't know where she was. She could be in custody right now, but they don't know. She could be on the run. Child endangerment, 100%. In the trunk of the car? No way. No way, no how. And you know what? I never heard about anybody doing that. Some of you guys said you were going into the trunk of the car to go to the drive-in movie and sneak in that way. That's old school. I never done that before. But the most I ever did was go into like the cargo area of the SUV and ride in there, or like in the bed of a pickup truck. We were on the interstate coming from the beach going 80, about 4 or 5 deep in the bed of the pickup truck. Fun times. I was like at that age, probably about 13 to 14 when I did that. Didn't care. It's like, man, we don't got no helmet and no seat belts back here. One accident, we're going all out of the truck bed, but it was fine. You know, it was like sitting on the couch, armrest, chilling in the back of the truck bed. They could have done that rather than in the trunk of the car. But the media, I kind of blame here for driving the lady crazy. Driving her crazy because why would you do something like that? Why put your child, your 13-year-old young man, really, in the trunk of the car because you say you're going to get the bug? And really, he might have the Omarion, and we know that ain't nothing but a little head cold, allegedly. I don't want to say that with 100% certainty because I know how YouTube is. Oh, you said that the virus was not really real. You said it was a hoax. We know that the symptoms of this thing are mild. And what I've been saying the whole time about the mask not working, they've come out and confirmed it. Matter of fact, hold on. Let's put it on the screen. Let's put it on the screen. Matter of fact, here it is. Here it is. Matter of fact, there's video too. Let's go ahead and roll that if we can. So here's the headline. This is on the local news out there somewhere. I'm not sure what this is. WHNT. Health experts warn to stop wearing cloth masks. This is January 6, 2022. So it's recent, 2 days ago. Again, one more time for the folks in the back if you didn't hear me. As I was saying 2 years ago, as you guys said 2 years ago, these masks don't work. You got on your Paw Patrol mask. You got on your Power Rangers mask. Okay, you got little kids all day wearing masks, developing bacterial infections and stuff like that on their face, breaking out all types of stuff, ruining their face, ruining their skin. It don't even work. It does not even work. Health experts warn to stop wearing cloth masks. Health experts. Matter of fact, let's read some of this right quick. Hold on one second. Quote, we want to make sure that it is not a cloth mask. A cloth mask does not offer protection, said Asha, some Indian name, of the Mayo Clinic, the best hospital in the United States, possibly the world, the Mayo Clinic, or one of the best in the world, Mayo Clinic. So this ain't me just talking, just making up stuff, no conspiracy theories. This ain't, I'm not quoting Alex Jones or somebody like that. I mean, it don't work. Again, a cloth mask does not offer protection. So they say you got to wear N95 mask. Now, first of all, they're very expensive and you're not going to find them anywhere. And they got to get fitted to you and they got to get changed every 2 to 3 hours. How are you going to be a regular normal working at an office job with a helper right there to fit your mask and change it every 2 to 3 hours? How's that going to happen? It's not. So what's the point in doing it? Your little boy, little Grayson in 3rd grade is not going to have access to that. So what's the point in doing it? And young males especially have a higher chance of heart problems with the shot, allegedly. And kids don't really get this thing and have any kind of problems for the most part. If you're a little boy, you 8 years old, you have no reason to worry at all. None. Period. Now say that with my chest, 100%. But anyway, let's see the video right quick and see what they say. All right, let's get some sound. That might help.
Masks available. Many people turned to cloth masks when there was a shortage of those higher quality medical masks available.
With the Omicron variant spreading even among the vaccinated, health experts are urging people to use a more protective mask like the N95 or the KN95.
Again, I said they're not even really available. And like I said right there, Deep Red State says exactly ABL. They must be fitted and changed 1,000%. All right, 100%.
17's Archie Snowden spoke to health experts who say it's time to rethink before putting on a cloth mask.
Okay, thank you. Studies are coming out now that the beloved cloth mask that some people have been wearing since the pandemic began, it looks very nice with a nice array of colors, but it has not been very effective.
We think masks are very effective, and with the Omicron variant, wearing a high-quality mask is extremely important.
As Omicron takes the lead as the dominant COVID variant, health experts are advocating for people to pay more attention to the type of protection they are wearing and tells us to ditch the cloth.
We want to make sure it's not a cloth mask. A cloth mask does not offer protection that you need.
A recent study by researchers at the Mayo
One more
Clinic
time.
We want to make sure it's not a cloth mask. A cloth mask does not offer protection that you need.
A recent study by researchers at the Mayo Clinic as well as India found that in villages where cloth masks were worn, infections were only reduced by 5%. That's one of the reasons why the Mayo Clinic is now asking everyone to wear a surgical or N95 mask. Emerging evidence also showed that the surgical or medical grade mask does a better job of preventing respiratory droplets from carrying the virus to others.
I personally think it's a minor inconvenience to put on a mask, and I don't.
Exactly. So, I mean, that's just it. And I've been saying that for a long time. These things ain't even working. It's pointless. It's stupid. And, you know, you get censored online for saying that. You get posts removed. You get all that kind of stuff. But you have scientists saying it. So when you have scientists being censored, like actual legitimate scientists, guys that have been around for 30 years, their whole life's work has been dedicated to virology, dedicated to the sciences, dedicated to helping humanity, and they get censored, you already know what time it is. There's money involved, ain't it? Because we know that stuff like HCQ and IVM, you can't patent because they have gone beyond that point. It can be made generic. You can't patent them, so you can't make any money because anybody can make it. It's a chemical compound. You can just make it, right, and mass produce it. But you have these brand new things, these shots and these new pills that you could put a patent on for a certain period of time, make money. That's all. It ain't nothing else to it, in my humble opinion, allegedly. Again, I don't want to get flagged. I'm just giving my opinion. Don't take anything that I say seriously at all. I know nothing. Wink, wink. But we'll move right along. But yeah, at a certain point, they're going to say no mask. Oh, and I almost forgot. Have you guys heard about this new bug going around? It's a brand new variant. New variant just dropped like a Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Pokemon or a brand new pair of Jordans for you guys that are into the shoe culture. I'm gonna put it on the screen right quick so you know I'm not making it up. I am not making this up. I don't do it. Again, I always have sources every single time. Most of my day is not necessarily spent talking and spent reading. I don't wear glasses for fashion at all. So let's check it out. Here are the symptoms of flu Rona. How to tell if you have it. Flu Rona. Yes, that's what it sounds like. They took the flu and the virus, quote unquote, put them together, flu Rona. Why? Because I think what happened was people are being tested for both and they come back positive for both. So you got the flu and the bug at the same time. But maybe, how about this? Check it out. Just hold on. Just maybe they're the same thing. Matter of fact, wait a minute. I'm going to read this from the article. Hold on. Matter of fact, here it is. All right. Here's a passage from the article. Okay. She had the flu and the virus as soon as she arrived. Both tests came back positive even after we checked again. Professor Arnen Vinster, some kind of German name, something, director of the hospital's gynecology department, explained, quote, the disease is the same disease. They're viral and cause difficulty breathing since both attack the respiratory tract. So the disease is the same disease. This is a doctor saying this. How many doctors must we get to say the same thing? They say it's the same thing. They say the masks don't work. So if a doctor is saying it, who's going to fact check? Facebook? And Facebook came out and said that their fact checkers are not even really real. It's not even legitimate. It's just an opinion. It's not really a serious thing. So you got both. You got the flu and the bug. It's the same disease. And we're going to call that flu Rona. And you know what? I kind of saw this coming because I was at Walmart one day and they had a sign that says, do you need a flu or virus vaccine? Come on inside. I'm like, what? Why combine them like that? Because isn't one, aren't they different? I can't tell. It's going to get to the point where they combine them, where you get kind of just a single dose shot for the flu, for the bug, for whatever, for any kind of virus that falls up under that umbrella of coronaviruses. Okay, you have you got the common cold, you got the flu, you got the bug, you got pretty much everything. Okay, that's kind of what's going on. So yeah, flu Rona. I ain't make it up. I promise. Yeah. Okay, now you got the IHU variant. It's like, really? The I hate you variant? the Omarion, the I hate you, the Flurona. What are they going to do next? Florida? Elevators? Is it going to be a Grammy nominee? But anyway, I'll move on. You guys are the best. If you enjoy what you're hearing so far, go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. I mean, all these viruses, and they're not even really that bad. I'm hearing about mild symptoms and all types of stuff. So it's like, what are we even doing? Get back to your normal life. Don't be trapped by these people. Don't let the media make you just go completely crazy. Like that lady did who put her son in the trunk. Don't be that lady at all. Okay, I want you guys to be sane in how you behave. And also, speaking about sanity and behaving properly, Tim Pool got swatted by the local authorities. Well, they didn't call the people, allegedly. It was someone who called the police out there where Tim Pool, I guess, lives or does his show. And they swatted his stream. Now, you guys, if you've been here for a long time, you know I got swatted in 2019. In August 2019, I got swatted at my other house. And it was crazy. Before I get to Tim Pool, I'll talk about me right quick because it's my show. It's fine. I'll talk about me first. But I got swatted back in 2019 in August. And it wasn't, nobody got hurt. It was all good. But somebody called talking about there was somebody tied up and bleeding and something like that. So they had to come out and they had to go into the crib. But they knocked on the door. They knocked. Well, before they knocked on my back door, which is where I was, it's kind of hard to explain. But my old house, the way it was a 2-floor house, but it was a small house. It was a 3-bed, 2-bath. And upstairs, you have the 2 bedrooms, like our bedroom and then my office. And then like a bathroom, like a little common area, like kind of like a foyer area. And the foyer was right in front of the door that went to the back. So you could pull up to the front of the house or to the back. It was kind of on the hill. So the house was like built into the hill, if that makes any sense. So the upper part was in the back where you could drive up and pull right to the back porch. But anyway, so I'm streaming and I hear neighbors and the police interacting. Get on the ground. I'm hearing that loud, right? I'm like, somebody getting arrested. Glad it ain't me. But then I'm like, wait a minute, that something ain't really right. I don't hear anything else. So I have my ears open for any other noises because it might come to my house. You see what I'm saying? At that point, I kind of figured out what was happening. I figured out it was kind of like a doxing situation. I mean, a swatting situation and doxing. But anyway, so then they came to the back. And I kind of heard them. Wife comes in. Hey, somebody at the back door. So I got up from the stream, went to the back. And then there they are, guns drawn, get on the ground. It was like 6 cops. It didn't have on SWAT gear. It had like regular clothes. And so we got on the ground. They went through the house. And there was all good. There was nobody bleeding, obviously. Nobody getting shot. It was nothing. It was all fine. So they came back really apologetic and really nice. Just very professional. And the thing about that kind of situation, remain calm, be professional, and don't let your emotions get out of control. Keep yourself under control, because if you behave right, you do the right thing, you have a higher chance of that thing going the right way. You have a near 100% chance of having everything go right and smooth if you don't act up. If you don't act up, generally things are going to be fine. 99.9999% of the time. That's how it goes. So everything was fine. They apologized a lot. My man that was supervising the situation gave me his number. There's a case going on. I can't talk about that, but it was all good. But it was very unsettling for sure. And that happened. So I understood at that point how to kind of prevent it from happening again. And the police, they pretty much know who I am. I know the sheriff deputy. I know politicians out here. So they know my name. They know my face. They know where I stay. So it's pretty cool now. But back then it was very scary. And yeah, you got it right. Act badge dog, split level house built into the ground. Exactly. That's what it was. But it was fine. It wasn't really a problem. And but it was scary at the time when it happened. But I was calm, remained cool, calm, and collected. Now, fast forward to this year, 2022, somebody swatted Tim Pool. Now, he was on live with Brandon Tatum, my brother. Shout out to you, boss. And they got swatted. Somebody called talking about it was a double murder suicide, something like that. I'm not saying that 100% correctly, but it was something to that extent. Somebody got murdered. Somebody died. Now, the police came. I think Tim Pool said there was like 6 cars outside, but only 2 cops came inside the actual place where they were recording. And it was cool, professional. They didn't have guns drawn, start shooting, nothing like that. They had flashlights looking around. But one thing that helped them was that there were some guys outside. I think one guy had a camera, like a gimbal. And a gimbal is like a device you can hold. Like you could hold, put it to you like this. It's like a device that holds your phone stable. So if you move in the gimbal, your phone is going to remain stable no matter what, for the most part. You understand what I'm saying? Kind of hard to explain. Basically, a phone stabilizer or a camera stabilizer in your hand had a gimbal. So probably with a phone or some kind of GoPro, some kind of small camera on it, he's moving that. And there's other guys out there kind of talking and walking around. So it does not appear to be a crime scene. It appears to be an office with guys out there working. So one guy talks to the officer right away and he says, hey, this is what's going on. It's a stream happening and it ain't nothing else happening. But they went into the place to check and see if everything was all right, because they have to. Tim Pool didn't like that. Was it 11 cops that went into the actual place, or were they outside the place? Y'all let me know. Now, that's a good question, Don Smith. Search warrant. Tim Pool was mad about that because he was saying you got to have a warrant. That's not true. A warrant applies to something like, okay, you've been watching the drug house for a long time. You're seeing people go in and out. You suspect there's some drug activity, some guns, something that's illegal happening in the house. You got to go to the judge, get a warrant, and then you can go inside the house and search to find evidence. But see, if you get a call about somebody being shot, killed, or some kind of hostile situation, that's called exigent circumstances. At that point, you can go inside the place and check to make sure that everybody's safe. Basically, it's an emergency. It's not about trying to find evidence for a criminal case. It's about somebody could be dead in here, or there could be an active shooter. We got to go inside to make sure everything's okay, right? That's generally what's happening. It's like if you go to a school and they say, hey, it's a school shooter in here, please come. Then they won't get a warrant from the judge to go inside the school. They're going to go into school and do what they got to do. Now, it's kind of a bad example because it's, public, but still, same thing applies to a house. If somebody says, hey, you know what, there's some guys in here, they didn't tie my mama up and stuff like that, they got to go in to make sure that everybody's safe, not to gather evidence for a criminal case necessarily, but to ensure safety. That's the difference. Also, like if a house is on fire, you're not going to get a warrant from the judge to go in the house and put the fire out. You're going to go in to put the fire out and rescue people that may be in there, rescue possessions or pets or whatever the case may be. If you guys go into the building, which don't always happen. But that's pretty much what that was. So Tim Pool was mad about that, but they have to go inside. They have to in that situation. Now, if there's a call about, oh, they're in there smoking weed or they're selling drugs, that's different. At that point, you got to get a warrant and gather evidence to go in, because it's not life or death at that moment, if that makes any sense. So that's pretty much what it is. If it was homeschool, same thing, another summer. If they saying you in there, strangling your kids and they bleeding and stuff like that, they got to go and check on your kids. That's pretty much what happens, right? Probable cause is the circumstances. If somebody's in there dead, like imagine, what if it was somebody in there that was actually bleeding out and they get a call talking about, hey, somebody's in here bleeding out on the ground, please come help, right? And I'm being held hostage. What are they going to do? Get Judge McGillicuddy from the bed and be like, yo, man, somebody in there dead. It's life or death. If we don't go there right now, they're going to die. Can we please get a warrant? You see what I'm saying? So probable cause, you're right about that. Exigent circumstances. If it's a bad situation, life or death, you can go in there to make sure everything's on the up and up. That's what they did with Tim Pool. But again, very professional, very kind, very nice. That's what's going on with that. Right? That's just what it is. All right. Am I wrong, ABL? Y'all could call in a little bit later and tell me how I'm wrong about if if somebody's dying, you got to get a search warrant to go rescue them. Is that what you're saying? That's kind of crazy. Again, I think it's about if you're trying to gather evidence for a criminal case or something like that, it's different than trying to save someone's life. It's, much different. All right. So, yeah. Now, yes, you can get, if you make a false claim like that, you can get in trouble because one guy actually swatted somebody and the person that swatted died. They got shot by the police. Now, I don't know what happened. I don't know what he did or how he behaved during the swatting, but the guy died. And then the guy got caught who made the call, and he's in prison right now. He's in the penitentiary, big rocks, little rocks. You can't do something like that. You make a false claim and somebody dies, you can go to jail. They might not even die or get hurt. You can still go to the penitentiary for that. Definitely. That's definitely a criminal action right there. A false claim like that to try and get somebody hurt. And the officer said it. He was like, that was a false call made against you. That's a crime because their intent was to have us come here and possibly discharge on you or your wife or whatever. So that's definitely a crime because of their intent. Even if there was no actual action as far as the shooting or anybody getting injured or dying, it was their intent. It's like if you conspire to commit murder, you're going to the jail, you're going to the penitentiary as well because you conspired to do it, you wanted to do it, you tried to do it. It's like if somebody hired a hitman to kill somebody, just that action right there of hiring the person, you're going to the penitentiary for a long time. That's how it works in the law. Okay. Oh, they went to the wrong house. Someone else died. Oh, okay. Even worse. So they had the wrong target or the wrong house. Even worse. So that makes it even, because at that point, now you're endangering others for what? For no reason? Is it a felony, Vape King? It should be. Swatting should most certainly be a felony. And it shouldn't just be seen as, oh, it's nothing, it's a prank. No, you could lose your life like that. For sure. So the intention justifies the stiff penalty as far as prison terms. But yeah, everybody's cool. Nobody got hurt, thank God. And that's good. That's good that nobody got hurt. You might be a Tim Pool fan. You might not be a Tim Pool fan. But regardless of what, I'm glad nobody got hurt. That's all that really matters, in my humble opinion. A hitman, yes, Hitman 3000. Okay, I don't know what you got going on. I don't know what you is that your price right there? $3 and get somebody knocked off. Hey man, if you in here trying to offer your services, I'm not going to be able to do nothing with you, boss. Call the federales on yourself. Get locked up because I'm not going. Alrighty, did I get everything I wanted to get? I think I did. I talked about Joy Reid. Talked about Joy Reid. I talked about her getting fired. I don't know if I did. I don't really care. Tim Pool getting swatted. The Texas mom, Antonio Brown. Oh, the Supreme Court situation. Now, the Supreme Court, they are giving arguments about the vax mandate for the private companies with like 100 employees. There's a vax mandate in place for federal contractors in most states. There's like 3 don't have it. I think it might be Florida. Like if you have a ban on vax mandates in your state, the federal mandate does not necessarily apply to you if you are a federal contractor, meaning you're not necessarily a federal employee, but you're a federal contractor. I think it's kind of difficult to really gather. But what I want to say about that briefly, I'm gonna talk about too much right here, but briefly, the thing about these mandates, I figure it'd be a court case. It'd be a court battle, right? Because they can't do this ultimately. So if you're in a situation where they're talking about potentially doing the vax mandate, something like that, and they want to fire you or put you on leave, I would say just stay and hold on. So prime example, if they put you on leave, but they don't fire you, you got time to work somewhere else. I would just find a different job, but don't quit. Just stay on leave. If you want to keep that job, if you want to get that money back, work somewhere else, but don't quit your job. Make them fire you because you may have a court case against them. Hey, you guys fired me for not getting the vax, but it was never a law. You guys were trying to make it to be law, but the Supreme Court, well, you want to make it to be policy of the company, but the Supreme Court says they don't back it up. It was never implemented. You guys wrongfully terminated me. I'm going to get my money. If you quit, then you're not really, they say, oh, you quit. That was your choice to quit. We didn't fire you. If it was me and I was in a situation, I would still keep my job, even if I was on leave, unpaid, keep it in the background, and I wouldn't actually quit. If they fired me, then so be it. I got fired. It was against my will. I'm a hard worker. I work every day, but they fired me, took my job, not my fault because I ain't want to get the vax. Then they overturn the law or it's never enacted. I'm going for the jugular. I'm suing. I'm getting big money. That's how I will operate. I mean, why not? Why quit? What's the point? If you're on unpaid leave, you got time to work somewhere else. That's how I would do it. Okay. That's just what it is. But so they're hearing arguments. And I think Kagan, the Supreme Court justice, said something really scary. She said that quote, the government is paying for the medical services, so they have the right to dictate details of those services. Now, this is what I was saying about stuff like, welfare benefits and public housing, things of that nature. If government gives these things to you, they can order you around. At that point, they're your boss. They're the husband, they're the daddy. They are the one that is your ruler. Okay, they're the king of you. So if you are living in government housing, if you are getting Medicare, Medicaid, all these government things, then they can say, all right, well, check it out. You got to do X, Y, and Z. Even though you pay for the government, it's your cash paying for it. It don't matter because you've empowered the government. You should be fighting for less money going to the government's coffers, period. The government should not be that big to do all these things for you. If you had your own money, more in your pocket, you wouldn't need the government for anything. You would not need them for government assistance as much or for public housing and things of that nature. Keep your own money and don't rely on them. If you rely on them, then they do pretty much whatever they want to you. And at that point, you're living in a tyrannical state. And we don't want to go down that road. We're not trying to have that happen again. Let's keep everything nice and civil and peaceful. But yeah, that's why I say I'm no fan of big government. I want it to be very small. And I said it for a long time about government assistance and the housing projects, things like that. They can control you. If they say jump, you got to say how high because they have the leverage on you. Again, it's your money, correct, 100%. But still, you live in there and there's got to be rules. So who makes the rules? The government. And if they have an interest in the vax, well, check it out. You got to get the vax too. Okay, we are funding the vax. We want everybody to get it. We can't get Congress to act on it all the way. That's why I'm trying to do this whole thing with OSHA and the private businesses, making them get the employees a shot. Because they want to make every person in America get the shot, but they can't do it just directly. They're trying to go for the companies where everybody works, or a lot of us work for a big company. That's what they're trying to do. Okay. And then they want to say, okay, let's talk about these projects too. Anybody on Medicare, Medicaid too. If you want to keep your Obamacare plan, get the shot, or you won't be on the exchange anymore. Okay. I left them a long time ago. The exchange, if you have Obamacare exchange insurance, you by yourself. Like me, I don't have an employer, obviously. I mean, I employ myself. So if I go to the exchange, it's a dumb amount of money to get an insurance plan. I go to iHealth Agents, plug, no sponsor, just saying, just free game, iHealth Agents, and I got a plan through them. And it's ultimately through Aetna. Works perfectly fine for like 70% of the cost. Okay, well, not 70%, 30% of the cost. 70% less than the Obamacare plan. So yeah, I'm rolling with that 100%, 1000%. And it's not government issued and ain't no subsidies going on, so they can't control me that way. That's why I say small government. The bigger it gets, the less freedom you have as an American citizen, as a person, period. Now, if you are an illegal alien, you can do whatever you want. You ain't paying no taxes hardly. You could live wherever. You could do whatever if you're an illegal alien. But if you're a citizen, you're paying taxes and you're listening to the government and what they say. I think this year, 2022, is going to be a red wave in the midterms, the same way it was in VA last year with the governor's race. In 2024, it's going to be a bloodbath. These Democrats and the big government is not popular. It's not. I mean, again, Elena Kagan, the Supreme Court justice, said the government is paying for the medical services, so they have the right to dictate the services. That's not exactly, Jamie. Whoever controls the money or whoever controls your money controls you. Yeah. If you give them your money and they are the big dog, now they got the power, they got the leverage. That's what it is. That's not a good thing to have at all. You don't want that kind of power to be held over your head as a person, as an American citizen, not in the least bit. So what else we got going on? But yeah, that whole thing, we're going to see. And I think Sotomayor or Ruth Bader Ginsburg, not Ginsburg, she did, but I think Sotomayor was talking about there's like 100,000 kids in the hospital from the virus. It's like 3,000 kids in the hospital from the virus. There was all kind of wrong things said there. But ultimately, we all need to be like Clarence Thomas. Let's get 9 Clarence Thomases in there and have it be a wrap. Okay, because he's the guy that makes the most sense on the whole situation. This whole thing is crazy to try and force people to get this vax through OSHA. I'm like, what's that got to do with me as a regular person? They're trying to do little backdoor things because they can't get Congress to act and make us take it as regular individuals. That ain't gonna happen. Congress could try and act, but it would never happen, and they know that. They know that those who want to get it have already gotten it. They know it. They're trying to force those who have not gotten it yet through OSHA. And those who are beyond that, who are not getting it voluntarily, who are not getting it through their employer, those who are beyond that are just not going to get it. And if you force them to get it, it's not going to end very well. No threats at all. No threats, no violence. No, I don't support violence. I don't support nothing like that. I'm just saying it ain't going to happen. It's not. Because if you come to my crib talking about get this vax, I'll be like, no, I can't do that, sir. So what are we going to do? I mean, are we going to the gulag? I'm not going to the gulag. So, I mean, we kind of run out of options here. I'm not getting the vax. I'm not going to the gulag. So I don't know what to do. I don't know what to tell you, but I'm not doing nothing else. So you're going to see that all over the country. And we don't want that to happen. We want everything to be peaceful, everything to be nice. So they're going to back off eventually. And I think that they will not hold up the vax mandate for private business. Can't do it. The federales can because, again, they got the money, they got the power, too much power. But a private business, no way. You can't force them to enforce that. And I think guys like the Delta CEO are going to be like, nah, let's not do that. He already said, let's cut the quarantine time down from 10 days to 5 days. And that which got granted. And I think the same thing will be done with the vax mandate because he's also against that. So it'll be a wrap. Once you get business involved and civil unrest involved, those things right there, the money and civil unrest, it's going to be a wrap. It ain't really going to go anywhere else. Yeah, the commie crap support. Yeah, they do. Commie crap support violence, 100%. Somebody getting the shot. Yeah, somebody getting the shot. I'm not sure who it's going to be. You know, it's not going to be me, so I don't know what to tell you. I can't really say too much beyond that, though, but somebody getting the shot, and it's not going to be me. How about that? Yep, Second Amendment, Fourth and Second Amendment, 100%. All right, so let's go ahead and get to the super chats. The number to call, 434-658-1220. I'll get to the calls in a moment before I do the super chats. Afterwards. Let's get to the first one here. Make sure I got all of them lined up properly. Oh, if you like what you're hearing so far, give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. If you're not subscribed yet, please do so right now. I'd most certainly thank you if you did. So let's go to what's the day? The 8th of January. Saturday. Let's go back to thank you to Caius Posthumous, who says, how about Newsom's booster mandate for workers in California and a 9th district ruling in favor of open carry in California, Hawaii? Maxwell sentence could be tossed. Oh, is that right? Well, how could they toss it? Like, what happened? Was there any kind of mistakes made, any kind of malfeasance in the trial? What happened with her situation? If it gets tossed, I'm not surprised, because these people, they got all kind of ways to kind of weasel out of situations, right? If she lives long enough to get another sentence, I'll be kind of surprised though. But anyway, yeah, you're gonna see that a lot as far as booster mandates. They're kind of floating that idea in New York City. Eric Adams, the new mayor, was kind of talking about it, kind of flirting with it. And if they do a booster mandate, ask yourself this. What's going to happen next? Is it going to just stop right there at the booster? Or is it going to be, okay, we got a brand new shot, take that. We got a brand new pill, take that. Because they got pills coming out, if you haven't heard. So am I required to take every kind of pill and drug they come out with? Yeah, I'm cool. You know, I don't like shooting up drugs. I'm not a dope fiend. I don't use drugs at all. So I'm not trying to use these drugs or be forced to take drugs every couple of months, every 2 months, every month, whatever it is. I don't want to do it. I ain't taking no pills either. Okay, I take little vitamin C supplements. That's about it. And I got chewables. I ain't taking no pill at all, period. And it's by force, and it's brand new. I'm no guinea pig, and you're not going to do that to me. So I'll move right along from that one. Thank you, Ricky Lee, for your donation. Appreciate you for that. Thank you to Apple, who says, R.I.P. 114-year-old Lawrence Brooks, oldest World War II veteran, survived by 5 children, 13 grandchildren, and 32 great-grandchildren. Wow, big family. Suffered through war and discrimination at home, but still a kind and gentle man. 100%. R.I.P. Mr. Lawrence Brooks, 114-year-old World War II veteran that just passed away. So R.I.P. to my man, Mr. Brooks. Apple also says R.I.P. actor Sidney Poitier, also dignity, strength, and respect. The movie I saw with him was To Serve with Love back in the day. Okay. This is a movie that came out in the 70s to the 60s. Really good movie. So shout out to Sidney Poitier. From the Bahamas originally. He also says, please support Patriot Freedom Project that helps January 6 MAGA and solitary in D.C. jails. Troy Smocks and Cash Lee are 2 such patriots that are persecuted. Thank you to Samuel for the cat emoji. I appreciate you. Apple says, J6 inside job, Ray Epps, Stewart, Rhodes, FBI snitches. FBI had SWAT at Capitol J6. They were orange beanies. Oh, okay. So that's what it's about. I understand now. I get it. Because I was seeing oranges today on Twitter. I didn't know what it was about. So it's the orange beanie guys. Got you. Also, defund FBI, who are Democrats, Stasi secret police. Thank you to Noah Garcia, who says, ABL, can you do your live stream intro in your Nigerian voice, please? What do I say? It's like I can't really recite it unless I'm doing it. I can't really do that one, but I may do that next time. Thank you to M. Fisher for the hype emoji. Thank you to Apple, who says, I'm angry at Pat Oswalt for betraying Dave Chappelle. Also, ABL to Houston, Mom, are you a border coyote? Oh, right. You got kids in the trunk. Like, where you going? You going to Tijuana? You going to Juarez? Where are you going, ma'am? Thank you to Apple again, who says, Dr. ABL, love your advice if COVID plus junk food and movies. Yeah, I mean, you know, these people, 1,000 pounds, it's like, come on. Like, I'm not over here looking like Billy Blanks, but I'm not the size of a baby grand piano. If you are 1,000 pounds or you're really big like that, you can lose weight. You don't gotta be out there sweating yourself to death. Just don't eat so much. I'm being dead serious because I got kind of out of control with my weight like years ago. I wasn't ever like looking like a roly-poly or nothing like that, but I was just too big. I was like a football player that kind of fell off. That was how I looked like years ago. You know, a guy that kind of got cut from the team and couldn't really get on the squad. That's how I looked back in the day. But the main thing is don't eat so much. if you're eating 3 meals a day and you got soda, fried chicken, just bad stuff, just stop. You don't got to eat all types of, you don't got to eat a salad. You could eat chicken breast, salmon. How about just don't put a bunch of bread on it and put it in a bunch of grease? Get a Foreman grill. The best thing you could do, if you're a man especially, get a Foreman grill, the little chrome jank with the little, get that. Get you some boneless, skinless chicken thighs. That's a good piece of meat. Get you some salmon, some wild-caught Alaskan salmon. Get you some olive oil, extra virgin, some garlic powder, a little bit of Old Bay on that. Get you some of those little instant rices at Walmart, like $1 a pack. Get you some brown rice. Get you some broccoli in a little pack they got at the store. Put it in the steamer. Steam it lightly for about 2-3 minutes. You good. Eat that. And don't eat a lot of food in general. You'll lose weight. I promise. Guarantee. If you do it, you'll lose weight. So if you big like that, that's the biggest thing that you can do to protect yourself against the bug. You know, I saw Lizzo and she disgusted me. She was eating Oreos with mustard on it on stream. She gained weight and was proud of it and then was eating just garbage like a pig. Pigs eat random garbage like that. We are humans. We're not going to be on a, like, I'll put it to you like this. If you walked outside and saw some food on the ground, you wouldn't be like, and start eating it. You wouldn't be doing that. So let's not do that. But I'm getting triggered, so I digress. But yeah, oh yeah, I could cook all day. I had filet mignon today. It was lit. Filet mignon with some grilled pineapples and some brown rice. It was lit. Yeah, I eat very well. Also, shout out to hold on, J&D for your donation. Appreciate you for that. J&D also said maybe if ABL kept Colin Kaepernick out of his mouth, the dude would simply go away. He's not going away. I mean, I'm not the one to put him on a commercial. I'm minding my business, watching HGTV, and I see him on some kind of Peloton or some kind of off-brand bike commercial. That's not my fault. Blame the marketing company. Okay, he got deals going on. It ain't like if ABL stopped talking about Colin Kaepernick, he'd go away. That's like saying if I stop saying it's cold outside, it'll get warm. That don't make no sense. I understand the message, but it doesn't make any sense. Right? David Allen says deep fried bacon cheeseburgers, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and second breakfast. Yeah, if you do that, you're going to have a heart attack ASAP. So let's not have that happen. Let's not have that happen. ABO cookbook, an idea, that's possible. That is possible, for sure. All right. And then let's go and move on to the next one here. John Hoyle says, how great a feeling is it to find an honest man in this world? Thank you for your truth. Thank you for that. Appreciate you. Thank you to John Medeski, who says Ebola back in town. Oh, they got that back, huh? Is Ebola back? That's crazy. Apu says, ABL, when you were growing up, did you have to do household chores or yard work? How'd you feel about those? Do you do chores now? Do you do yard work? When I was a kid, we didn't really have yards like that until I got to be like a teenager. Like I was 14. And at that point, it was still a small yard, like a patch of a yard. So I cut the grass. Like I could go out there with a pair of scissors and cut the grass. It was not much grass at all. Okay. Little baby backyard in a townhouse. So I didn't do much yard work because there wasn't so much to do. Now, what I would do is like, I will always fix stuff around the house. I was a handyman. I'm a handyman right now. I always like putting stuff together and fixing stuff. My mom had a rat in the shed one day. So I had to go over there and get the rat. I put some traps down. I came back and the rat was on the trap looking like this. So I had to get the rat. It was still living, put it in the bag, take it away. That was kind of a mess. And I had to plug up the hole where it came in, like on the bottom, plug that up, come by and inspect it, and everything was good. So that's kind of what I do. You know, kill spiders, get rid of rodents or whatever if you got them. That was my thing. But now I got a house, I got a yard, I got to cut the grass and go out there and pull weeds. I do all that. Yeah, so I do yard work now. And I did household chores, of course, cleaning my room. I'm a neat freak, 100%. If you put something on the ground, I'm getting upset. I'm getting triggered right away. My dad was like that too. Go to my dad's house, immaculate, always. So I don't do, if you come into somebody's crib, you put like stuff on the ground, you got dirt on your shoes, marking my carpet up on my hardwood floors. Now you got to go. If you stink, you got it. Okay, I'm getting too much now. But basically, I'm a neat freak, 1,000%. Anyway, do I like motorcycles, ATVs? How about boats? That's not really my wave because they're dangerous. For motorcycles, number one, I like boats, but not necessarily like small. I like big boats. I like big boats, like a ferry or a yacht or something like that, but not anything else. I love yard work though. It's very relaxing, esoteric, 100%. I go out there, zone out. I got all types of. I got my lawnmower, I got my edger, my trimmer, and I'm looking like it's spotless. My leaf blower. I don't play no games. I got all types of seed and everything and fertilizer. Like I'm serious with it. I have a small yard still now, but it's not like when I was a kid, like a little patch. Like we had a lawnmower. We had one of those old school blade mowers. You push it like 3 times, it's done. But now I got an actual electric mower, one of those Ego mowers. VA highway snow in for 24 hours. Governor fault? No, because that happens. And it happened so quickly, and the way it happened, you couldn't really prevent it. Because somebody said, well, you should have iced the road, but you can't ice the road. You should have salted the road. You can't salt it or put brine or anything on it if it rains first. Because it was raining there first, and then it became snow quickly. It was a quick temperature drop, and the snow came. It couldn't be prevented, really. And they said, have gas with you. You might get stuck before this whole thing happened. So it was just it was Mother Nature just happening. That's all. Let me see. Mr. VIP said, without production of goods, inflation continues. Exactly. Yeah, because there's all this money floating around. There's a high demand for these things, and you can't produce enough to meet the demand because you have no labor. So you're going to have more inflation. In order to meet the demand, you got to raise the prices, essentially, because if you have low prices, you keep selling out, and you're always going to be out of stock. So keep raising the prices up and up and up. That's going to reduce demand. That's inflation. Apple says, opinion on AOC boyfriend, white feet. LOL, just kidding. Yeah. AOC's boyfriend is an Instagram photographer. The guy that's he wears a dress in the relationship, in my humble opinion. But I digress. I don't want to get into this situation. Shout out to my man, Black Conservative Patriot. Thank you for being here, boss, who says about 1,000 pounds each. America is so awesome. Our welfare poor are obese. Keep doing your thing, Mr. ABL. Thank you for that, Black Conservative Patriot. Thank you for coming in and supporting the stream. I appreciate you. Michael Guest says Hollywood Democrats need to open up their expensive homes to these street creatures for comfort. They are responsible for that street crap. Hashtag FJB US 100%. I think it's Noah Garcia who says, ABL, do you think if the trunk had a seatbelt, it would be legal? Well, I don't know, man. You still got to be able to breathe in there, and it's like in the crumple zone, according to the policeman. So, no, you can't do that, man. Michael Guest says, we know CNN condones Tubin's behavior. Question, are they encouraging it? You know what? I don't even know. Why you keep talking about that? Let's not. That's like a favorite topic right there. Noah says, we get masks fitted with N95s at the hospital and recite the alphabet. So if we taste the spray during the test, I almost pass out every time. Wow. So how does that work? Do you get fitted that one time or throughout the shift? How does it really go? Thank you, Touch That's in a second, who says, how about those so-called experts stop telling us stop wearing masks and start telling governments to end these mandates? We're not the ones demanding this idiocy in the first place. Exactly. Thank you to Greg Brown, who says unemployment calculation, I guess, confuses me. Unemployment divided by those looking for work times 100. In contrast, unemployment payees exceed the latter. Comment only. I have no idea. I think the formula is to get a general idea of what's happening in America, but right now that formula probably not really working too well because people aren't looking for work, not because they can't find it, it's because they don't want it. So I'm not sure how to really talk about that beyond that. Blast Radius says, I knew the masks were BS, window dressing, just something to make you feel good, but it can also turn you into a Karen if you see someone else without one. Exactly. 100%. Like I was in the airport, walking out, leaving with when my mask pulled down, dude was like, it's like, sir, I gave him the blankest stare in the world. One mask down, like what? He just, turns out went the other way. It's like, yeah, because like this, it makes no difference. You're just playing the game. I'm not really trying to play along with you. So leave me alone, sir. Let me see. 1096 says the Jack Murph variant. Noah Garcia says flu, Rona, Rita. Flu, Rona, and diarrhea at the same time. That's nasty. Old School says your phone is busy all the time. What's up with that? If you're trying to call right now, the line's not on, so that's not, or if you call in normally when it's on, people it's busy. That's all. People trying to call in. Kaya says, what would you talk about with 45 if you called in? I would talk about the mandates. I talk about the state of the country. I talk about 2024, 2022. That's a good question. I'm not really sure. Pretty much anything that's like top of mind. The mandates would be number one. That'd be the first thing I talk about with Trump if you called in. Oliver Raymond says, let's go, Brandon. Thank you for that. Thank you to Josh Foster, who says, ABL, who are the white supremacists? Democrats who say they are a threat to democracy. They use this term often. But who are these people? Any names? So far, I got nothing but baseless, divisive rhetoric. I got you on that. Michael Gass said, let's go, Brandon. 17MGTP says, let's go, Brandon. Ball versus Windshield says, so that Penn trans swimmer lost to a Yale trans. The other is female going to male who was on steroids. Wow. That's crazy. So basically, women's sports has now become men's sports. XX or XY. I mean, which one? If you are XX, you're pretty much out of luck. You got to have the right chromosomes to be able to compete. That's unfair. Thank you to Deidre Hall, who says, say hi to Deidre ABL. What up, Deidre? How's everything going? Hopefully you're enjoying the stream so far. Thank you to John Medesky, who says, ABL, what do you think about Ebola back in town? I've not heard that yet, except from y'all. But I'm not surprised that it's back, because where did it go? Jamie says, whoever controls the money control. I've read that one already. Thank you, Buffett Winfield, who says, the Biden administration has finally admitted to being racist. They are now saying white people need to wait and minorities should be prioritized for shots. I saw that. But the problem is that we won't even want it. So they're trying to pander to the blacks, but we won't even want it. So it's useless. It's just being racist for no reason. Deidre Hall says, say hi to Deidre Hall, please, for making my night. Thank you for that. Thank you to John Medesky, who says pure blood here. Lena E says, please say hi to Charlie. What's going on, Charlie? Hopefully you enjoying the show. Thank you and Deidre for being here. And also, Lena, I know I said that wrong and I'm sorry. Pardon me. It's not my fault. Blame the white man. Bo versus Windshield says, after all the January 6th hoopla, I learned one thing. Apparently, the media and Democrats hate the orange man. Viva la Trump. 100. Thank you to S. Ford, who says, thoughts on Ted Cruz. That was crazy what he said, talking about, January 6th was a terrorist attack and the shit that happened. And then he went on Fox News in front of Tucker Carlson and groveled, talking about, I'm sorry, I said it the wrong way, all this, that, and the third. It's like, Ted, why would you say something like that, talking about it was a terrorist attack? Why do that? It's not needed. The whole January 6th thing needs to just die, because it was nothing compared to the BLM stuff. They never do any kind of remembrance, nothing like that. They never, ever talk about it. Matter of fact, there was BLM-style riots when Trump got inaugurated right there in that same spot, right there in D.C. But that's like not even talked about at all. They damaged stuff. They did all kind of things. And how many lives have been taken from BLM riots? Dozens. Little kids, old men, all that. But that is not really relevant, I suppose. But I'll move on. Shout out to Philip, who says, brother ABL, you're married, one of my favorite moderators back in the day, like 9 years ago or so. Love you guys. Thank you for that. Appreciate you. Thank you to Kayas, who says, do you think we all will see BLM and Antifa riots this year? Maybe. during midterms because they get another check. They'll get the check refurbished, replenished, pardon me, and they'll be back the same way they were back in 2020 during the election. They'll be back again this time. Thank you to Kimmy, who says Maxwell mistrial due to juror history of sexual abuse. He convinced other jurors during deliberations to convict. Never advised court of it. Thank you to Rick E, who says, just a donation. Thank you to Steve Gadd, who says, love and respect from Mansfield, UK. Thank you for that. Thank you to Mr. Though, who says, or thou, I've been seeing woke shows everywhere. SVU had an episode where the cop used the OK symbol to gain the trust of white supremacists. Wow. Like, that's not obvious. Like, hey, Mr. White Guy, I'm one of you. Look at this. The dumbest thing in the world. Anyway, thank you to, what's that? Daddy Mod. I know I tore that up, but it's not my fault. Anyway, he says, or they say, before a U.S. District Court granted a stay, our employer, federal contractor, required us to be fully vaxxed, even those of us who work 100% from home. By the way, ABL, I'm going to give up cussing in posts because of your influence. Thank you, sir. Thank you for that. I appreciate you. But that's crazy. It makes no sense. Why be vaxxed if you work at home? Like, I'm not coming to the office. I'm not coming around anybody. So what's the point of me being vaxxed? You're trying to control my life beyond work. Why? The federale is trying to get involved with that. That's really what's going on. John Medeski says, by Sava stock, SAVA. And Raymond G. Stanley Jr. says, Cruz better never win an election again. Oh, he's done. I think he's done because you can't do things like that. If he runs, they're gonna play that clip over and over again. It's like, come on, man, you're not making good moves here. The whole Cancun thing, I give you a pass. It's not really a big deal. But this, it's like, come on, man, what are you doing? That's an unforced error. Nobody said, hey, Ted, go out there and say that it was a terror attack on January 6th. Nobody said that, but he did it anyway. Why? The dumbest. But anyway, I digress. A number to call, 434-658-1220. If you want to get on through Skype and be right here by the left corner on the screen, there's an email for that in the description box below. Check it on out. If Skype works improperly, it's not my fault. Please blame the white man. It's not my fault at all. But again, 434-658-1220. That's the number to call in. And the phone lines are ready to rock and roll. So what did Cruz do? Okay, what Cruz did was call J6 a terrorist attack, and he was really passionate about it on the Hill. And then he went to Fox and backtracked. Oh, I said it improperly, all this, that, and the third. It's like, man, what are you doing? Stop. All right, 615 on line, one speaker two.
Hey, this is Brian from Chattanooga.
All right.
And I just wanted to know what your opinions were about how all these media outlets are coming out and saying that cloth masks are not effective. And, you know, we've been saying this for 2 years now. Do you think they're going to be mandating K95 masks?
They can't because there's not enough of them. They can't keep the supply up because, you know, cloth masks are easy. You can just make them anywhere, make them in China, India, wherever, and mass ship them like T-shirts because you can't do that with K95 masks. Okay, there's a shortage right now for medical people, let alone for the average person, so they can't mandate those. So I think they're trying to set us up for the end of mask requirements, period.
Yeah. I saw in somewhere in like Michigan, the teachers union was trying to push the school board to provide K95 masks because they were figuring that was the only thing that was working nowadays. But I also have one more thing. What do you think about Governor Bill Lee, signing a law basically taking away federal funding to schools like I go to UT Chattanooga, taking away federal funding for schools that impose a mask mandate or a vaccine mandate? Because I personally love it. I don't have to wear a mask, you know, on campus or get a vaccine.
Oh, I love it. It's fantastic. And, you know, he did the right thing because people just respond to the money. Okay, if I can't get money that I need, how about we don't have a mask mandate? So it's a beautiful thing. I love it. And that should be the case all over the country. 100%.
Yeah, I know. You know, there's plenty of loopholes. You just got to figure it out. Him and Ron DeSantis, I think, are doing a pretty good job.
Absolutely.
And that's all I got today, man.
Thank you for the call, man. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right. Out there in UTC. That's a great campus, by the way. Love UTC's campus downtown. Love it. Really, really nice. Great view. It's the wave. You know, you get a little bit weird down there in some of them areas that's like close by campus, but great campus out there in UTC, Chattanooga. Shout out to him. With the Nashville number. Let's get to the next one here. Let's go. You're online speaker 2562.
Hey, ABL, this is Fred.
All righty, what's going on?
Nothing much. Yeah, man. Just watching the stream. Going great show. Just had some things I want to talk about. I live here in Compton, California. Yeah, I'm on the right, and I live in Compton, California.
Wow, I mean, do you have a bulletproof vest, a Kevlar helmet? Like, how are you out there? And right now, you got game wars going on. You got the Inglewood family beefing. Like, is everything okay?
Yeah, everything's fine. Yeah, there was one night where I walked and I saw that there was a shooting, like just up the street from where I live. The only reason why I'm here is because I was living in LA. I was living in a pretty decent area. It's just that the property manager plus the owner, I believe, they sold the property, and so I had to move in back with my parents.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah, and yeah, I was collecting unemployment, but at the same time I was working, so I was just getting like double the money. I know it wasn't really that like great to do, but you know, I needed some form of income. My whole question is like, you know, moving forward, like what do I do? Because you know, I just turned in my application to become a security guard. I want to work. I mean, I want to go out here and find a job, but you know, Gavin Newsom, he passed the thing where everybody has to get a shot in order to work, so or even to go anywhere.
So you're saying like how to work, like for work? What are you gonna do for work?
Yeah, like what do I do? Because if I were to go, I think if I were to go to Inland Empire, sorry, I'm a little anxious, a little nervous. If I were to go to Inland Empire, they don't require for you to get the vax, so you can't work out there. You think I should do that?
I say, I mean, why not? I don't see why you shouldn't. I mean, do you want to stay out in IE?
I would. I mean, because Rancho Cucamonga turned me red.
Okay.
You know, it's very red out there. Yeah, the last time I was out there, I was just walking on the street, and some dude had a F. Biden flag and the American flag right next to it. So there's patriots out there, man. You know, there's patriots out there. I've talked to dozens of them who have a Let's Go Brandon T-shirt on, and we'll talk really good. We'll talk like, you know, civilly and discuss things pretty good. So it's a good area. I you know, it's just the money problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
So I mean, so do you have any advice on what I should do? Because you know, it is like I'm 29 years old living with them. I'm a beta male right now, and it sucks. So you know, any advice, any you know, words of encouragement?
Well, okay. Now, what do you do?
Well, right now I make music. I'm a music producer, and I also rap. And right now I'm like I do art as well. I paint and I draw. And so I'm just me and my mom are trying to work together so we can do some design. Like I can do the designs and she prints T-shirts and just sell those.
Okay. Now, do you have any skills beyond that, or is that like what you do?
Well, I was just like you. I'm a graphic designer as well.
Yeah.
So, beyond that, I've done.
Now, go ahead.
I've been working ever since I was 13 years old. You know, I used to work the cameras at the church. You know, I used to do like a lot of landscaping. I'm just like you. I used to do lawn work, fix stuff. You know, I'm good at certain things like that. You know, I can be like a journeyman, you know, type of person. But it's just, you know, out here, like, you know, there is a lot of jobs, but a lot of those get taken by some people that are already vaxxed or already been in that industry for years. And so if somebody's trying to come in entry level, it's a little bit more difficult. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, I think right now you could do something like police officer, firefighter. I mean, because, and the reason why I say that is because you have skills right now that you could do, but I'm not quite sure you can make a living on that. Like, even with me, when I was doing graphic design, when I first started doing it, it was a different time. Like, this is before Instagram came. This is back in like 07 to like 2012. That was my peak years during that time. And I was doing a lot of flyers and stuff like that, a lot of print stuff. Made a lot of money doing that because I was doing design and the print. I had different streams of income back then, but that kind of died because of Instagram and stuff. Now, it's still kind of alive, but you got to kind of be tied into some political circles and whatnot that I wasn't. I was like in the streets. So my advice is what I was going to do before I started doing YouTube. I was going to be a firefighter at age 31. My dad was the same age when he went in. He was 31 when he went in and retired 50 years. I mean, at 53. So he did like 22 years in firefighting, had a pension and whatnot. So you could do something like that. Maybe not in California, maybe go somewhere else and do it, or go beyond Los Angeles and do it there. So you won't necessarily be in danger of the crime and also the desert heat trying to be a firefighter. So police officer, firefighter, something like that, see if you can do that, or just get other skills that you can really sell in other places aside from what you have. What you have is good for side money, but not necessarily for your main living money. Does that make sense?
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I could do stuff like that, but I also want, and I'll make it short. I still want to stick to my music production, you know, because like I have like 2 SoundClouds. I'm sorry, I don't want a shameless plug, but one is Proud Crew 92, and the other one is FCG 013. It's stuff that I do. I want to start like producing for patriotic artists like Bryson Gray and Burden and Forgato. Sorry if I'm butchering his name, but Forgatio Blow. Yeah. I just want to get the hookup on them so then I can just like send them some beats and they can rap to my stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I understand, but see, the thing about it is you gotta be able to eat in the meantime, because that takes time to be able to build. But if you have tangible skills you can do right now, you can make money and then on the part-time do that. And the thing about being a firefighter, right quick before I get to the next call, in Virginia, at least, if you're a firefighter, you work 9 days a month, 24-hour shifts. So you got plenty of time when you're not on the clock to do whatever else you want to do. Because my plan was to continue being a graphic designer and a firefighter. And my dad told me, he was like, look, if you're at the station, you got time. You're not fighting fires all day. So you got time to be at the station doing your work, and when you off doing your work. So you could do multiple things. But thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate it.
Appreciate you too, man. Have a great one.
Same to you. Yeah, that's the main thing, being able to do multiple things. That was my whole plan was, okay, be a firefighter. You start making off, like at that time, this is like 2014 I was trying to do this. So you start making like 37.5, 40,000 as a firefighter back in Virginia, like Norfolk or Virginia Beach. You know, I ain't want to do Norfolk because Norfolk, you're going into the building. If it's burning, you're going inside. Out the beach, you're going surroundings drown. 40 grand, full benefits, pension at the end. I can do that and then do my graphic design thing at the same time, make another like 40,000, and then, pick up a different little something, get 20, I'm at 100. You see, that was my thought process back then. Because when I was a kid, my dad worked as a firefighter, and he had other jobs, a security guard, just different things he did at the same time while being a firefighter. You could do multiple things at once, but I digress. Let's get to the next call. The number to call, 434-658-1220. Let's go to 541. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL, this is Thomas from Kentucky again. Talked to you over Christmas.
All righty, man. What's going on?
Hey, I just wanted to call in and kind of get your opinion on something. You're talking a lot tonight about the different mandates with employers and things like that. And if this gets any worse in this country, if they start doing things, like they are in Australia, about actually locking people down inside their homes who aren't vaccinated, they won't even let them go to the store or work. And I know you talk a lot that you're not violent, and I respect that. We might differ on that, but I just want to get your take on what do you think we should do if we're forced into a situation where we can't work, we can't go outside our homes? What do we do to kind of solve that? What's our solution in fighting that?
Well, I don't know. I'm not going to do it. So I'm not sure what that means for you. I can't really tell you that, especially not right here. But me personally, I'm not going to do it. So however you got to do with it, that's your decision to make. But me, I'm just not going to do it. And I'm not violent. And I'll leave that there for, and anybody can think whatever they want, but I'm going to just say I'm not violent and leave it at that.
Yeah, I respect that. I'm just trying to think, as a whole, what is our solution to try to, because obviously if they do something like that, we risk losing our livelihoods, or we risk going to jail, getting locked up if we're leaving our house when we're told not to. I'm just thinking, where is everybody on that, and what is the solution to that?
I mean, it's a good question. I mean, I'm not really sure. I don't have that answer, but I just know that I'm not going to do it.
Okay. Well, that's all I got for you tonight, and maybe that just gets some people thinking about, if they do decide to go that route, because I think they're pretty serious about it at this point.
Yeah, I believe so. I think they are pretty serious.
Yeah. Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate your time. Again, once again, thanks for taking my call, and I appreciate what you do.
Thanks for the call, man. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right, shout out to the caller. Shout out to the Federales watching too. Wink, wink. But anyway, next call. Let's go to, all righty. You're on the line. I'm speaking to 619.
Hey, ABL. Good afternoon. Thank you for taking my call. My name is Rigo. I'm actually here in California. One quick thing. The caller before, talking about him being a security guard, right? And he wanted to get into that business at this time. I work for this company here in San Diego. I don't want to burn them out, so I'm not going to say the name. They're super low staff. And what we're doing is pretty much, just not really requiring the backs. So we're just hiring. And as we're going, we're just, making sure that everybody at least is safe, but just, taking your vitamins, sanitizing, and being a normal human being. So, yeah, there's a lot of good jobs out here, especially in San Diego. Not as much as crazy as in LA. That's where the place I work for is based on. But yeah, man, like, don't give up. If you really want a job, just keep looking for one. There's a lot of openings, and some of them, you might get lucky and they might not ask you for a vaccine mandate requirement. So just keep looking,
Definitely.
And thank you for giving me the opportunity to, just give you a call. But I hope you have a good year, man, and a long-time listener. You actually gave me good points to talk to all my friends and, give them some advice because of what you've said.
Well, thank you for the call, man. I appreciate you.
All right, man. You have a good one.
Same to you. All right, shout out to the caller. Most certainly appreciate them. All right, you're on the line, 717. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL, it's Moses. How you doing today?
It's all good. About yourself?
It's all good over here. It's all good over here. So I got two things to tell you then, man. I apparently caught the coof. It was the most brutal 2 weeks I ever had. But it was so weird. I had like these weird symptoms, and I wanted to discuss it with like the audience quick if I can. Would that be okay?
Go for it.
All right. So some of the symptoms I experienced is obviously the headaches and stuff like that. But the weirdest one, I don't know if anyone experienced this, and I don't know if you heard of this. I actually lost my appetite. I couldn't put anything down for the past 2 weeks when it came to like soup or even like some solid, like even like chicken or anything like that. I couldn't even put anything down. Have you ever heard of maybe like, I don't know if you have friends or anything like that caught it, that had like a loss of appetite or anything like that?
I've heard that. I've heard about loss of appetite, loss of taste, smell. I've heard that. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. And my brother caught it too. And he hasn't recovered his smell or taste yet. And he recovered from it at least, I would say 2 weeks ago. So it's crazy. Like the taste and smell, I think, lasts long. I think it lasts for about a month. So, it's not that bad. I mean, it's like the first time you had the flu. Like if you had the flu when you were a little kid, like if you have these fever dreams and stuff like that, that's how it was like for me. But I don't know.
You know what? Maybe, just maybe, it's the same thing. maybe like a variant of the same thing you've had before. I'm just putting it out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're definitely right. You're probably definitely right. And then the second thing, and then I'll let you go. You were just discussing about these mask mandates, how they might go away because the news obviously said that these masks may not be working, the cloth masks and stuff like that. I do have a question. This kind of relates to midterms, and this is just me thinking outside the box, and you could disagree with me. You think the Democrats could use this as leverage to say, hey, we're going to end the mask mandates. Vote for us. We're going to end the mask mandates if you vote for us or something like that. You think they could use that as leverage, or you still think it's just going to be a bloodbath in the midterms?
That's a great question. They may try and do that, but at the same time, a lot of their base still wants to wear the mask. They're still afraid. Like the left have driven the whole thing about wearing masks for the past 2 going on 3 years now. So if they reverse course and it's like, okay, what's going on? Are you lying to me? I'm still wearing my mask. So that might not work. And they're not really going to be able to gain anybody on the right by doing that, because people have already gone to the right more than what they did in 2020. Because we saw the election last year in Virginia with what's his name? Glenn Youngkin winning, the Republican in the blue state. So if they did that, it wouldn't work very well.
No, it probably wouldn't work. And it's just one of those things where you see like people like Ron DeSantis, Greg Abbott, who don't have the mask mandate, who don't have the vaccine mandate, and then if they want to reverse course, it's like, hey, what's going on? Like you said. So it's one of those things where they're probably just going to have to come out and say, hey, we were wrong. We're sorry. Go ahead and take off the mask. But I highly doubt they're going to apologize about that. I highly doubt.
Oh, nah, I don't think so. Not at all.
All right. So I thought I'd put that out there. And I'll let you go, man. I do want to thank you for everything you do, continually. And then we all appreciate you. God bless you. And have a great night, man.
Thank you for the call, man. Appreciate you.
Appreciate it. Bye-bye.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Great call. Let's get to a few more here. And let's go 415. You're on line. Who am I speaking to?
Yeah, this is Patrick.
All right, man. What's going on?
Oh, my God. ABL, I got 2. What?
Yes, sir.
ABL, I just wanted to say, right now I actually got the COVID.
Oh, man.
And I just wanted to kind of talk about, like, how it is.
Okay.
Yeah, so, man, I didn't even know that was going to get through. But, yeah, I'm in the city. I'm in San Francisco. So they got the National Guard out here doing all the test stuff. But I got positive on this thing, and it's a headache. You cough, and you feel the headache. I can't taste anything. I can't smell anything. But it lasted, like, the fever lasted 1 day, and it just kept on going. But I'm not vaccinated, man. I've been just drinking pho. I've been eating Filipino soup. Like, that's been getting me through. And Tylenol, that's about it.
So, I mean, do you feel better from doing that? Like the hot food and things of that nature? Is that making you feel better?
Yes, sir. Like, you just kind of sweat it out, like, at the night. Like, you wake up and you just sweaty, but you feel a lot better. The only thing is, yeah, you do get shortness of breath, and you do get, like, headaches and stuff like that. But, I mean, at this point, man, like, I'm glad I didn't get the whatever experimental stuff that they did up. But for me, I just treated it like the flu, and so far, man, it's good. Like, this is the 6th day now. I just can't taste anything, can't smell anything, but it's coming back. Man, I'm just eating soup, good food, and watching the ABL show, man, and the Brandon Tatum show, and that's it.
Right on, man. Well, I'm glad you're feeling better and that the pho is working. I might do that myself. Just, it's a Viet spot right down the street from me. They got the best food in Chattanooga. I might have to go there and get some of that pho just to go ahead and get it in my system right now, so I'm ready for it. So thank you for your call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Thank you, ABL.
Hey, shout out to that pho, though. I mean, that soup, like, I'm not even the soup guy. I don't even really like soup like that. But go to a Vietnamese restaurant, get you some pho. Oh, that right there is spot on Love Asian food. Filipino, Vietnamese, Thai. I'm all in. Okay, Chinese, I don't know about that, but definitely all the other ones. All right, let's go to the next one here. 505, you're on line. I'm speaking to.
Hey.
All right, turn your down for me, please, in the background.
Yeah, I had to turn the TV off. So. Hey, Anthony, bro.
All righty, what's
I got
going on?
a lot of ideas. Yeah, bro. You know, I think I might be able to help the situation what's going on. You know, not the COVID shit, but the
Hold on.
brainwashing shit.
Wait. Can't cuss on the show.
Oh, I mean, the brainwashing stuff. the stuff that's going on with the brainwashing and all.
Right.
You know, people losing their minds. You know, see, you know, I was raised with by maniacs, right? And I ran away from home when I was 13 years old, right?
Uh-huh.
But I understand how this shit works, you know, because I had to escape it. You know, like when I was 3 years old, my parents had my big sister hung up on the shower thing, you know, I was like 3 and my other sister, my middle sister, we was out there watching them beat, you know, her on the shower curtain thing on the shower ride, you know, and I had to stand up to that shit.
Caller, come on, man, you're killing me.
Like,
Caller, listen, you're killing me. You're cussing on live.
I mean, I'm sorry about cussing. I get mad because of the thing.
But
you
you got to relax,
it,
man, because we don't want to get flagged on the.
I will.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I need to calm down.
Just relax, man. Just me and you. Ain't nobody else watching.
Yeah, I'm nervous, bro, because I'm trying to tell you. You know, it's kind of important. You know, okay. And I get nervous. I'm sorry. But anyway, you know, see, I got, you know, what do you call it? PTSD, you know, and, you know, it's caused from that. So I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Anyway, so I've been studying, you know, how somebody's trying to, you know, manipulate you, like they're a psychopath or a narcissist, because, you know, like women that I get with, they're psychopaths and narcissists too, and even on the Democrat side, you got to realize half of them are under control because they're scared and they're controlled by controllers, these narcissists and psychopaths, and they will actually kill their kids and everything else if they don't go along with this shit. I mean, this stuff. It is.
All right, man. I'm sorry, but you're doing too much. Just relax next time, because you cussed 5 times. I gave you warning once, did it again, then again. So that's it. Thank you for the call, man. I appreciate you. Sorry I couldn't have you on too much more, but come on, man. You're killing me. All right, let's go to the next one. 912, you're on line. Who am I speaking to?
What's up, ABL? This is Thomas in Georgia, Savannah. How are you doing?
I'm well. How about yourself?
No complaints. It's a little chilly here. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I'm kind of right next to Florida, so we don't expect it to be like 50 and 40 all day, every day. But
right.
So actually, my better half wanted to talk to you, Kim. I'm gonna pass the phone over to her. Here, Kim, you can talk to ABL.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, ABL.
Hello. How are you?
I am good. First of all, I wanted to tell you that I think the mask didn't do nothing but raise crime. And second of all, I wanted to say I read up on a lot of stuff just like you do, and today I seen something where they passed January 8th this bill that they're gonna send $1.1 billion to all of these cities, but they're claiming that they did it for rent help. But it's always these same cities, these lefty cities, that they're sending this money to. And I was reading it today, and as a pattern, I was sitting there thinking, I wonder if they're paying these cities off for doing what they want them to do right before our eyes. And if that's the case, why isn't anybody doing anything about it?
That's a good question. I feel like that's more of it needs to be some kind of investigation launched, maybe from the federal government level, like rather than the IRS.
Right, and I mean,
Yeah.
it is exactly every time I read it or study it, and they're sending out money, it's always to California, New York, New Jersey, all these lefties states that are doing exactly what they want them to do. And they keep sending all this money out. Like California, they're sending $50 billion to California, and they're claiming it's for renters, something. But, and then the list goes on with the lefty states. And I was like, I wonder if they're paying these people off, like right before our eyes.
I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. You know, they always talk about how they're a great economy in California and how they have so many jobs and so much money, but yet they keep getting all this extra bailout money and assistance money and things of that nature. And you got to ask yourself, where does the money go? How does it get used?
Right. And why aren't they sending it to everybody? Why
Right.
are they only sending it to these states?
That's a great question.
Yeah, and it's really sad. You know, it's really sad the world we live in. You know, I just read. I'm like you. I read up on a lot of stuff, and I notice patterns, and I'm like, wait a minute now. They just did this a couple of months ago, sending the same people money.
That's right.
But it was nice talking to you.
Well, thank you for the call. I definitely appreciate you.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. Bye.
All right. Shout out to the caller. And you guys are the best audience anywhere on the internet. So if you enjoyed what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up if you have not done so already. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please do so as well. That'll help me out a whole lot. Trying to get beyond 899,000, but YouTube's hating on me. So please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It's 100% free, I promise. Let's get to the next one here. And please, if you've been drinking, do not call. Enjoy this show. Sit back and relax. Don't call up here because I will hang up on you. But anyway, 770 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Chris, Colin from Maryland.
All right, what's going on?
I just had a few things I wanted to point out and get your thoughts. Because one of the things that was concerning to me was like the midterm elections.
Okay.
And I saw that New York State is allowing non-citizens to vote, right? And we know that like over 1 million, 1.2, 1.3 million illegals have come over that border or tried to in the last year. So what if the Democrats were to try something like amnesty to try to, I guess, filter out the Republican red wave that happens before November with this voting bill that they're trying to push through? And do you know if Sinema and Manchin are supportive of that voting rights and changing and kind of federalizing things or not?
Now, as far as New York doing the whole thing about non-citizens, I think they still must be here legally, like green card holders and whatnot. So that wouldn't apply to illegal aliens. But
okay, I mean, like if they were to do something,
I got you.
To push
like I'm gonna get there. I got you. So
okay,
yeah, just to clear that part up. Now, it's still wrong to have non-citizens vote, but they may try to use that as a springboard to say, okay, let's just do a blanket amnesty. So it doesn't matter if you're here on a visa, green card, or just illegal. Hop in the border. Your name is Jose Jr. Okay, cool. Now you're a citizen. They may try to do that, but I don't think that'll work because you still got to go through the same process. If I'm not mistaken, you can't just say, all right, we're going to be New York and have amnesty, or the Democrats in the House and somebody's going to have amnesty. You still got to have the Senate, if I'm not mistaken. That's not going to work out too well. So they may try it, but it'll ultimately fail. And you know what the reason would be is because they want to have everybody that they can vote. However, they may not try it because they know it's going to fail. And if they try and fail, it'll kind of reveal their plan. So that'll hurt them in the midterm elections if they tried to do something like that and failed.
Okay. So what do you think about a lot of people that have been forced to get the vaccine, or forced through the mandates, and people just kind of, I guess, the silent minority where they say, okay, I'm going to do this, but I'm never voting Democrat again.
That could happen too, and I think that they're kind of shooting themselves in the foot by doing that. Meaning the Democratic Party. They're definitely shooting themselves in the foot because it's going to carry on. There's going to be a one-time thing that's going to be consistent. They're going to stay doing that. So, bad move on their part, but they think that it'll work for them politically, it's going to backfire.
Okay, and I guess my last thing is, and I'll preface this and say that I'm not a doctor or anything like that, but I've been doing everything that I'm not supposed to. I've gone to 5 states, been to Mexico, salsa dancing without a mask for the last couple of years, and I did a blood test, and I can't seem to catch the virus for nothing. But I have a mother and sister that got the vaccination, and my mom has had COVID twice since she's got the vaccination, and one of my sisters has had it once. So that's just my little sample size of about 10 people. So I don't know. It's just kind of a weird thing. So just people can do with that what they will. But that's all I wanted, was to get your thoughts about kind of some midterm stuff that was going on.
Well, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You know, the masks don't work no way. So the masks are totally irrelevant. They said the masks don't work. They came out and said it. I had an article up where the Mayo Clinic said that it's not going to work. I mean, people don't have N95 masks. You know, 99.99% of the time when you see somebody outside, they wearing a Baby Shark mask or something like that. They're not wearing the actual thing. And even those things don't work that well necessarily. Okay, if you could smell farts through that mask, it ain't working. Okay, so it just is what it is. All right, let me get to the next one here. 776 on the line. Who am I speaking to? Pardon me, 773.
Hi, ABL. My name is Angela from Chicago, and I had just 2 things, and we'll try to make it real quick. I wanted to ask you about the story that you had on about the mom that locked her kid in the trunk, and you were saying something about being 13 and being pretty much huge by the time you were 13.
Yeah.
I wasn't that big when I was 13, but I don't think I would have let my mom lock me in the trunk.
Right.
And you were saying something like you think that was like a common thing. Were you trying to say you think that kid was abused already?
I think so, because in order for you to get in the trunk of a car and stay there while your mom is, it doesn't make any sense, because it's like, surely she could just let him stay with somebody or stay by himself. I mean, just going down the street to get a test. She was not like
right.
going anywhere else. That just seemed like really kind of a strange relationship already. So that's probably what that was. That was probably a sign of other abuse that had been happening for a long time. For him to be in that mind state to just get in the trunk of the car and have that be okay. I'm not getting in the trunk of the car, period.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely feel you. At 13, I wasn't getting in the trunk of the car either. My mom could box. Like, not for real, but I'm pretty sure she could have beat me up. But I just thought that was weird. And most of the times when your kid is sick, you already kind of know you're finna get it anyway. It's just kind of a given. You have to take care of your kid anyway. So what was going to happen once they got home? Was she going to lock them in the basement? I don't know. I just thought that was weird.
Exactly. Really weird.
And another question I had for you, I know that you said that you lost all your guns in a boating accident. They are all gone.
That's right.
I was potentially thinking about getting something, perhaps maybe I've been stocking up on certain things, and I'm about 5'4", about maybe 150. Do you think that a shotgun will work for someone of that stature, like a 12 gauge? Or can you even answer something like that?
You could get a shotgun, but for your size, I think you could do good with like a like a carbine rifle. You would do great with a rifle, because it's easy. To me, a rifle is easier to control than a handgun, because you have multiple points of contact over a larger period. You got your shoulder, you might got a foregrip or just under the barrel, and then you have the actual trigger. So you got a lot of points of contact. Whereas with a handgun, you got to be the right to slide, and you might not have the strength in your hands to be able to do that necessarily really well. And you got to be able to not pinch it.
I have that.
Oh, you have that? Okay. So if you got that, and is that kind of easy for you to control your handgun?
Well, I mean, I had to get used to it, because shooting wasn't something that I always liked to do. I didn't like the loud noises, but I'm not gonna lie. When the pandemic first hit, I was like, "Yo, it might go down," and so I got me a small 380 pistol, and then very recently I got me a 38 special.
Oh,
and
yeah.
So I just don't know what's gonna happen, and so I was looking at some shotguns. I'm like, "Yo, like maybe I might need a long gun."
Yeah,
So,
I mean, ain't nothing wrong with that.
Okay. Because I've shot a 20 gauge, and I don't really think that seems strong enough. Someone said that that's something for like older people, but I was just wondering if someone of my stature does a 12 gauge.
Yeah,
seem okay.
If you can handle a 38, yeah, you'd be all right with a 12 gauge. Personally, I like rifles anyway, and I know, somebody your stature, you would do great with a rifle. Do you have one already, a rifle?
No, sir, I don't. I just got the 38 special and 380.
Yeah, start a little arsenal. Get you just go to the gun store and then see how you like it in your hands. Just see how you like it in your hands and just kind of do that. But definitely a rifle, a carbine, like a 16-inch barrel would be perfect, or even like an AR pistol. I got an AR pistol. Oh, pardon me, I had an AR pistol, and like
it was lost in the boating accident.
It was tragic. Kids were crying. So. Yeah, a carbine would be great for you, or even the AR pistol, but definitely like a 16-inch barrel. You could probably do a 12 gauge too, though, but definitely get that rifle.
Okay, I might end up getting both, but thank you so much, ABL. You have a great night. Love the show.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate you.
All right, bye-bye.
Yeah, rifles are long guns, unless you got a sawed-off, which you probably shouldn't have. I'm not sure if that's legal or not everywhere, but yeah, rifles are long guns. I saw an AR build rifle. That's a little bit too much for me. Give me a little, maybe like a semi-automatic shotgun, but not an AR build. But yeah, they're long, like rifles. But I love rifles. That's my favorite. Give me a good rifle any day of the week, a nice AR-15, then we good. Give me a nice little scope, foregrip, and we cooking with gas. A pistol just for like wearing on your body, concealing and stuff like that. Okay. But if I was able to have guns, which I'm not because they're all gone, I would get like a decorative piece, like a revolver. Like I'm gonna get the same kind of jank that your man had in the movie, but I don't want to shoot nobody with it. But we'll move on from that. Let's go to. Hold on one second here. Let's go. 586 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
This is Drew from Detroit.
All righty, what's going on?
Not too much. I just wanted to talk to you about something that's been kind of bugging me, and I know with the YouTubes we can only talk about so many things, so I wanted to plant the seed, like you like to say. When this whole coronavirus first started, I, like you heard, and everybody heard, this is dangerous for old people, and I firmly believe that Trump cares about this country. So why is it that when USNS Mercy and Comfort were dispatched, they didn't go to the old people state? You know what I mean? And we all know what the old people state is. They got plenty of ports. They can host plenty of ships. They have the highest concentration of old people. It would make sense that we'd send at least one of them there. So I don't know what's going on behind the curtain, but it's not what they're telling us is all I can see. What do you think about that?
That's a good question. That's a really good question because people leave New York to go there to go to Florida. You're talking about Florida, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, people leave New York to go to Florida to retire. There's a lot of communities where you have to be a certain age, 55 or older, to go there to live. You can't live if you are not a senior citizen. So it didn't make sense to go there, but it wasn't a problem in Florida the same way it was in New York. I think New York, the issue is that you have people in really tight spaces, congested. They can't really move around. People kind of breathing the same air. It's just too much condensed space people live in. That's probably the problem in New York. But Florida is more spread out, warmer weather. It's a better place to live, and you're not necessarily going to have a lot of these viruses floating around, like the flu and the cold and other things aside from the only virus that anybody cares about right now.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And I did want to say something to your other caller who called in. He was about my age, and he's doing the same thing I am. He had my garage collapsed. I'm a mechanic, and now I'm back with the family. I just wanted to tell him, hey, man, go out, get you a welding course, get you a welding certificate. You make high dollar money. There's high demand for welding, especially in stainless steel. You do TIG, man, you make dump trucks full of money. Just offering that out as an option. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate you.
Bye.
All right. Thank you for the call, man. Thank you. That's a great call. Alex Chavez, you got it kind of mistaken. Is it just a joke we're talking about as far as boating accident? I'm not a prohibited possessor. I never been to the penitentiary or jail. I never been arrested. I'm the squarest guy in the world. I'm Mr. Rogers, 1000%. Okay, I am Mr. Rogers. Put a sweater on me. I'm the black Mr. Rogers. I don't play no thug games. So let's just get that 100% clear. You know, but I don't speak on guns that I might own because the federales are watching, and I don't want no problems. So we'll move right along. 859 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, this is Christian Von F, Northern Kentucky. How are you, sir?
I'm well. About yourself?
Pretty good. I'm kind of nervous. Anyways, my question is, based on like the information released from like the Pentagon, the U.S. government, do you believe in aliens?
That's a good question, actually. I think that there could be aliens. I'm just not really sure where they are, how they got here, or what they would look like if we saw them, because we may think they're going to be looking like some of these drawings that we've seen in the Green Man with the giant head and stuff like that. But aliens could be anything that we can't really see. So I think there could be some aliens. I'm not leaving that off the table. I'm just not really sure what they are or what.
Right. Have you heard, by chance, have you heard of like the Greys?
Yeah, I've heard of the Greys. Yeah.
Yeah, they're about like from 3 feet to 5 feet tall. They're from like supposedly they're from like Alpha Centauri star system, something like that. I've heard that.
Yeah, I'm not really sure where they're from, but I have heard of the Greys, 100%.
Right. But anyways, I'm super excited that you took my call. I'm really very, very grateful to talk with you. I won't take up any more of your time. God bless and good night.
Thank you for the call, man. I appreciate you. All right, shout out to the caller. And to get back to the other caller about the skills, I ain't want to bypass that. Yeah, welding, that's definitely a thing. Like right now, to anybody watching, to the young man that called earlier talking about, is he going to go to IE or what's he going to do as far as skills? I mean, get a CDL right now and you're going to have a job. They can't find truck drivers to save their life. Okay, and you don't got to be driving over the mountains if you don't want to, way out like that man did in Colorado. You can be local, doing deliveries or something. There's so many jobs available, they can't fill them because there's so much monopoly money floating around. There's a lot of demand for all these goods and services. So get a CDL right now, you'll be able to make money, period. Okay, you don't got to be your owner-op right away. Just get a job. Just get a regular job and make money. And if you don't like truck driving, you don't got to do it forever. See, the days of standing at one job for a long time, I won't say they're over, but it's not as common as it used to be. Back in the day, you stay at one job for 40 years. At the end of it, they give you a watch and a certificate, but that's kind of dying out to a certain extent because of varying factors. Cities changes, neighborhood changes, companies change. So you can just do something. You could do a certain thing for a while and then shift to the next thing, you know. But definitely, you guys got to get some hard skills. I have hard skills as far as, you know, the graphic design. I could do a lot of different things. Websites, like I made a lot of money off of that when I was still doing it, but I kind of just faded away to something else. But what I do right here is a skill. This production and stuff like that, I get asked every day. People want me to set it up for them and pay me, but I don't have the time to set it up and pay them and get paid to do it. But I could. Let's get to the next one here. You don't know how much speaker to 917?
Hey, ABL.
Hello.
Can I get through? Is this ABL?
Yes, it is. Am I on speaker?
No, I took you off.
Okay. All righty. What's going on?
Hey, I just want to tell you a quick story. I won't keep you long, but Friday, I was at a grocery store, a major chain, and they called me to the office and they said, "We have to ask you, are you vaccinated?" And I said, "No." And they said, "Okay, you need to fill out a form." And I was like, "What?" And then she pulled out her phone. She got online. And she got into the website. And she was punching in some numbers. She goes, "Here, I want you to see that I'm punching in the correct number." And I didn't know what the heck she was talking about. It was so unclear. But then the next number she wanted to punch in was my Social Security number.
Oh.
And I said, wait, what is this? What is this? And she says, "Well, it's not for the company. It's for
And she remembered off a bunch of words, and I was like, what? And I was so nervous and kind of freaked out. I said, show me what it is you're talking about. She pointed to this whatever she had pulled up on her computer somewhere. And basically it's OSHA. Basically, if you're not vaccinated, they want you to register your Social Security number with OSHA.
Wow. So you getting put on the list.
Exactly. And I said, no. I said, what? I said, you want me to register with a federal database? I said, no, I'm not going to do it. No way, no way. And I started to walk out, and I said, you're going to have to, I literally threw my hands up in the air. I said, you're going to have to fire me because I'm not doing that. And she goes, wait a minute. You don't have to get vaccinated. I'm like, oh, duh. Like I'm going to get vaccinated for this job. And I said, I know that. I said, but you're asking me to register with a federal database, and I'm not going to do that. I said, what choice do you have? I said, you're going to have to fire me, right? She said, well, we'll see. She said, the president has ordered this and blah, 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 blah. I said, yeah, right. I said, I know that. But guess what? It's illegal, and it's in the court. Like,
exactly. I mean, they're arguing that right now in the Supreme Court, so they might strike that down. Yeah. So it's like, okay, you gave me your information, and then the next day they say, okay, it's illegal, you can't do it. So what's the point in going through it? So if you fire me, well, I got a lawsuit. So how about just leave me alone? I'll go back to my work, and then that'll be it, right?
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I mean, I know that all these companies that are, like, scared of whatever, they're scared because they're going to get fined, I think, like $13,000 per violation, like basically per employee, if they don't force the employee to comply with this stuff. And so, as is right now, it's the law, and so the Supreme Court turned it down. I mean, quote-unquote, the law. You know, it's totally freaking illegal. But, you know, they're all just running scared and, you know, being do-gooder and, you know, totally complying. In the meantime, yeah, it's up in the air. It's not settled yet. And I'm sitting here just completely in disbelief that it said, like, I think 80 million Americans are affected by this mandate.
Wow, yeah.
And that he works at a place that has 100+ people. I'm like, our future, so much of our life of right now, is in the hands of these dorks in the Supreme Court.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know?
It really is.
It's crazy, dude. But I just want to let you know that that's what's happening out there. If people aren't vaccinated, if they work in these companies, they're asking you to register your Social Security number with OSHA. Like, come on.
Wow.
No way.
Unreal.
No freaking way. Anyway, that's it. Finally got through. Shout out to the chat. Best chat in the world. And good night, ABL.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate you.
Bye-bye.
All right. Yeah, that's crazy. I'm not giving you my social, not giving it to OSHA or nothing like that. Hey, you know what? I'll tell you guys my social. You ready? It's 281-330-8004. So use that right there. Get you some credit. Get you a boat or something like that. How about that? But anyway, I'll move right along. Again, 281-330-8004. Let's move right along. Let's go to, matter of fact, 281, you're on the line, my speaker to.
Hi, ABL. This is Sheila from Texas. How are you?
I'm well. About yourself?
Well, I'm okay. And congratulations. It looks like you're closing in on 1 million subscribers there.
Yeah, hopefully very soon we get there.
Well, you have a great platform, so I thought I would call and tell some of your listeners about a class that I am taking. It was recommended to me by a friend, and it's an online class that teaches the Constitution, and as well as, you know, the history of some of the founding fathers, and you know, there's a lot of people that are just up in arms and about what's going on in the country these days with mandates and things of that nature. And you really can't appreciate just how horrible things are until you really understand your Constitution and how far we've come from the Constitution, why it's so important, and how it really secures our freedom. So I thought I would call and mention that on your live stream here. You know, maybe somebody will be inspired to learn a thing or two about the Constitution. And then you can really, when you go into that vote, into that box to vote, you do so with a little bit more knowledge behind, your vote, and that's important.
Absolutely, very much so.
So the class is, it's once a week. It was free, and there are other people in the class, and I'm in Texas. And I'm really finding out just how different it is in other states from the people who are in the class with me, what they're going through. And I'm just so thankful to be in Texas with our governor, who has made some of these things a little bit harder. Not impossible, but a little bit harder. Because, we don't learn a lot about the Constitution. It's been a minute since I was in school, but I didn't learn a whole lot. Not that I recall about the Constitution when I was in school.
That's right. Absolutely.
So what do you think is, because I don't think the Republicans even get it. Definitely the Democrats are basically the party of Satan. I mean, they're just bad. The Republicans aren't a whole lot better for trying to, they're not as bad as the Democrats, let's just say that. So you're kind of hemmed in on who you can vote for. But, the Republicans have also, it was George Bush who gave us all those bad bills, all those bad stuff after 9/11. Do you think there's anybody that comes to mind who really understands the Constitution in your mind at all in government today?
Maybe Rand and Ron Paul.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. Unfortunately, I don't live in his state, but yeah. I agree. He's a champion of that. I thought you might say Ted Cruz.
I don't know about Ted. I don't know about Ted right now, but definitely Rand and Ron, they know.
So, yeah, Ted kind of put his foot in his mouth recently, which, I really like Ted because not only is he a Texan like himself, but, I've seen him walk off of the stage because the crowd booed Israel. And I thought, well, somebody who's willing to walk off stage for what he believes in. And, in Obama's, when all those Republicans were voted in a midterm race, and specifically just to repeal Obamacare, and they failed to do that, the one person who was standing up telling them, hey, you remember why you were voted in and you're not doing what you said you were going to do, that was Ted Cruz.
Yeah, that's right.
So, I like Ted because it's one thing to stand up to the Democrats, but it's another thing to stand up to the people in your own party, and I really liked him for that reason. But after that speech he made, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on with that. But thank you for your call, though. I got a few more calls on the line. Thank you for your call. I appreciate you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Let's get to a few more here. All right, Victor, what's going on?
Hey, thanks for taking my call.
No problem.
Yeah, I got a couple of stories to tell you.
All righty.
Well, for one, this is, for me, it's been a bad year so far because Virginia, I don't know if it's all of Virginia, probably all of Virginia, but at least in Northern Virginia, they started charging people for bags and groceries.
Wow. Now, what's the charge? How much are they charging?
I don't know because I never asked. I always take the bags from the self-checkout.
I mean, it's like, what's the purpose? Are they trying to reduce the bag usage or just trying to make money just randomly?
To be honest, they want to reduce bag usage, and this is my belief. They want to reduce bag usage. In reality, just want to make money. And this all is about climate change. That the things that they're trying to do to help the climate change is just really a big money grab. That's all.
You know what? If it's about climate change and the environment and things of that nature, how about we stop having all these masks floating around everywhere, because that's not helping the climate. You're talking about pollution. these masks ain't doing nothing but going to a landfill somewhere and just clogging up a bunch of space. So, I mean, you got all these masks floating around. Then they got paper straws and all type of stuff. You want to reduce the bag usage, but go to California, they got free syringes for people to shoot up their drugs all over the place on the ground. Makes no sense.
Speaking of the straws, when I went to I think it's the aquarium in I think it was in San Diego. I got a drink, and I asked for the straws, and they gave me those cardboard straws. I'm like, are there other straws? And the guy told me, no, because we want to help the climate. And I looked on the side. I'm like, but there's a recycle bin right there. What's the point of having a recycle bin if you're not going to use these plastic straws?
It's so silly. Makes no sense.
Yeah. In Maryland, there's a black Chinese restaurant, a black-owned Chinese restaurant. And when I went there to pick up my food, and this was so baffled because I never had this happen to me. Some guy asked me, "Do I have a mask?" Yeah, and I said to him, "Is there a mask mandate?" And he's like, "Oh no, I'm just wondering because everybody else wearing a mask." I'm like, "Okay, fine," because the owner never said anything about me. The homeboy doesn't even work there, and he tried to ask me about a mask.
It's like, man, why are you even concerned? Like, stay over there, mind your business. Like, I'm in here just getting my food. You just do what you're doing over there.
Yeah, and I think in reality, he probably didn't want to ask me that. I think it's because the woman that was with him, probably his mother. Because when I asked him if there was a mask mandate in Maryland, I kind of ignored her, but she said, yes, there is a mask mandate. I looked it up. Of course, there is no mask mandate in Maryland. But I think that she was so upset with me not having a mask that she decided to walk out and wait outside.
Wow. Oh, so basically, okay, so what? It was his mom that was with him?
I think it was his mom.
So basically, he's being his mom's little foot soldier to try to impress you about your mask because she left. She probably was like, "Hey, baby, tell that man to put his mask on so I can stay in here." It's like, look, at that point, it's like, look, that's a grown man. He can do what he want. Like, that was crazy.
Yeah. And like I said, when I asked him that question, he didn't say anything. And to be honest, it really truly didn't seem like he didn't have a problem with it. It was the woman that was with him.
People crazy.
Yeah. So, have you heard about this news reporter said about Aaron Rodgers?
I'm not sure. What happened with Aaron Rodgers?
Well, he said that he has to vote for the MVP. And he said that he is not going to vote for Aaron Rodgers because he thinks that he's a bad guy.
You know what? But see, that happens a lot with sports and stuff like that. These people that have the votes to vote for MVP, it'd be like people in the media and stuff like that. So if you say something they don't like, or if they talk to you and it was a bad interview, they won't vote for you. All kind of little dumb stuff like that. It's always been like that with sports politics. So a lot of times these awards don't mean that much necessarily. Sometimes it's clear that this person was the MVP, but sometimes it's up for grabs, and it'd be just kind of a random pick between who I like and who I don't like personally, rather than what they do on the field.
Yeah, and obviously he's pointing to when Aaron Rodgers lied about his vaccine.
Well, he didn't lie necessarily. He kind of bended the truth. He said, "I'm immunized." He didn't say he was vaxxed necessarily. I'm immunized. He kind of was a little wormy with it. That's all.
Yeah, but even if you have a problem with that, the point, why was he asked in the first place? That's his business.
It's his business, exactly.
Yeah, and what's so funny is that this sports commentator, Rich Eisman, when he was talking about Aaron Rodgers and that incident, and Aaron Rodgers said that he's afraid of being canceled by the cancel culture. Rich Eisman said, Wait, you're Aaron Rodgers. You cannot be canceled. And look what happened with this journalist saying that he's not going to vote for MVP.
Exactly.
If high school students canceled Dave Chappelle when his high school did not stop the naming of the theater or something in his name because the high school students was protesting against Dave Chappelle. If high school students was able to do that to Dave Chappelle, of course Aaron Rodgers could be canceled.
Exactly. 100% correct.
Yeah. The last thing I want to talk about is the Kanye concert that I saw on Amazon a while back. The concert was the Free Larry Hoover concert. Did you hear about that concert?
I saw like a couple little pictures from it, but I didn't really hear too much about it.
Yeah. Reason why I want to bring that up, because Larry Hoover, if people don't know, he was a crime lord, a crime kingpin for the Black Gangster Disciples before they separated to Gangster Disciples and Black Disciples in Chicago. He's in jail for murder decades ago, and really kind of destroyed Chicago with his drug dealing. Yet people are going to the concert trying to get Larry Hoover out, and they want him basically forgive him for what he did and think he's a changed man. Yet though, you have people like Matt Walsh being suspended, or anyone who finds old tweets and try to get them canceled. You don't want to forgive them just for words that they said.
You know, that's all the politics stuff. The people just they pick and choose when they want to be altruistic and forgiving, and it's all about who they want to support, who they don't want to support. You know, a gang member, former gang member, let's go ahead and just free him. It don't matter what he did. He could be in there for killing people. It's fine. But an old tweet from Matt Walsh, let's cancel him, because I didn't like Matt Walsh to begin with. So let's just use that to cancel him. But thank you for your call, man. Definitely appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Talk to you later.
Exactly. You know, that's a really good point. You know, talking about let's free this former gang member, killing people, whatever, it's fine. You know, it ain't no problem. Asada Shakur, aka Joni, I forget her last name. You know what I'm talking about. She like killed 2 cops and fled to Cuba. And they're talking about, let her stay in Cuba. I think Chris Christie was trying to extradite her because she did that in New Jersey where he was a governor. Oh, well, not when he was a governor did that happen, but he was a governor when he was trying to get her back to go to come back to Jersey. Because remember, Obama, quote unquote, normalized ties between the U.S. and Cuba, and she was still hanging out in Cuba, escaping penalty for committing that murder, a double murder or whatever, the officers. It's like, yo, okay, you want to normalize relations, let's bring her back to Jersey and, you know, send her to the penitentiary. Didn't want to do it, but anyway, I'll move on. 336 on the line, who am I speaking to?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Hello? 336?
Is this not ABL?
Yes, it is. Turn your stream down for me in the background, please.
Okay. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
I actually got through. I wasn't sure I was good. So I was there was a comment that was made about the money that's going to different states.
Yeah.
And the particular states that they're going to. I'm originally from New York, and I know what happens with grants. And it also ties back into not knowing the Constitution. I moved from New York. I'm in North Carolina, and it was the best thing that I ever did. It's been 8 years now, and I'm grateful for that. But I wasn't aware. So when I was in New York, yes, I was a full-blown, what you call liberal, all the way through. Anyway, not to get off topic. When it comes down to this money that's going to these certain states, what they do is that they, quote unquote, put grants out there. But if you don't know about the grant, if you don't know you could get a business grant, if you don't know you could get a housing grant, what happens to that money? Where does it go, ABL? Does it go
Oh, it goes right back to the state. Disappears. So what? Again, it's all about knowledge, and that is one of the biggest things, and that I am grateful for. This whole, I believe that God allowed all of this stuff to happen for a reason, to open up people's eyes. If this didn't happen, we wouldn't want to educate ourselves. I wasn't following conservative views. My cousin was adamant, go to church. She baptized. She got me into getting baptized and all of these things. It was like, and I always was in church. My grandmother would make me collect cans, and we do the beach in Puerto Rico and give it all back to the church. It was something that, we was still working hard and giving back to our communities. My grandfather, my grandparents were born in the 1920s, and when they moved into New York, my grandfather took a little lot, and he got a couple of kids from the neighborhood, and my grandmother would feed them, and they became baseball. One of them became a baseball manager for a big league team. Well, nationally, okay, the Mets. I'm a fan. So, but those are the things that we take for granted, and we stop educating ourselves on.
That's right.
And if we don't know where this money is going, it's not that it's not out there for us. Let's use it, but how do you know how to use it?
That's the question, ain't it? Yeah, that's a really important question we got to know, because if we don't know, then it's probably done like that on purpose, so we don't know, so they could people that do know can get it for themselves.
Or it goes right back to the state.
Yeah, go back to the state, right.
So we need to get I feel like we need to get ourselves, again, back educated. The morals, the morals, and educating ourselves on stocks, business, the tools and trade of the world. At least of the U.S. Of how we supposed to own and operate things. They stopped us from learning about stocks in schools. We don't know that much about constitutional things. And now, again, they're doing the same thing. Yes, the state got the money, but we don't know where the money's going to. And it's there, but we're not. There are certain, again, I've started following a lot of YouTubers, and I'm grateful for that about YouTube, especially for you, ABL, Black Conservative Perspective. I could, the list just keeps going in my head. But there's one person that is out there talking about grants. The money's there.
Right.
You could get $1,000 for being a business owner. You could get $35,000 for being a homeowner. But how do you apply for those grants? And you don't know how to get it. And if you don't use it, it ultimately ends up going back to the state. They have these loopholes. And that's what New Yorkers and all this BS that is going on. Loopholes. Yucky political loopholes with our money, with everything that we actually invest in this. We work. When I moved over here, I tried to see if I could get a little bit of just a help, like a helping hand with financial assistance. I still was working. I didn't care. I downgraded on my job because, again, coming from my background, you have to work no matter what. So I went from making a certain amount of money, going into retail, working the store, and I was okay with that. But I made $100 more or even $50 more. I didn't qualify for food stamps, but I'm working.
Right.
I'm working too many jobs. So, again, please answer all of those, your perspective on that. I would appreciate it.
Well, thank you for your call. I definitely appreciate it. I'll tell you when I'm done with the call, but thank you for your call. I appreciate you.
Okay.
All right. Shout out to her. But yeah, I think that definitely need more education about where the money's going. But also beyond that, let's not have so much money just get printed by the federales and have it sent to anybody. let's have a smaller government, because this money is there and it can be utilized, but should it be there? That's kind of how I look at it. It really shouldn't be there at all, because it's just too much just floating around when it really shouldn't be. There's other things that we could just reduce some of that money to reduce the debt, because it's going to come back to bite us in the end. We kind of just kicking the can down the road. 321 in the line. Who am I speaking to?
Yes, sir. This is Wesley from Florida. I just want to tell you I really appreciate everything you do and all that you're out there doing. And look, I see a plethora of books that you got in the background, and I just wanted to know, I guess I could say I was out of the line conservative, but I'm more of a libertarian style person. And I was just wondering, what kind of book would you recommend someone like myself reading from your selection in the background of your videos?
From the selection in the back, definitely Atlas Shrugged, Ayn Rand. That's a good one if you've not read it yet. What else I got back here? Of course, Animal Farm. That's the easy one that kids can read. I got that back there. I got my friend Brandon Tatum's book, Beating Black and Blue. I've not read that yet, but I know it's going to be good because I know most of the story anyway from talking to Brandon personally. And what else I got back there? The Road to Serfdom by F.A. Hayek. It's a really good book, Road to Serfdom. All the books back there are good, really, but definitely Atlas Shrugged. That right there, that's your cornerstone right there.
No, I greatly appreciate it. Thank you, sir. And thank you for everything you do. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Bye-bye.
All right, yeah. So I got a lot of books. That's just a few I got on display. I got books over there. I got some more over there. I got a lot of books. I gave some books away. I have some books like on Kindle and stuff. But yeah, I mean, I didn't want to be a book hoarder. I had a lot of books that I wasn't reading or that I wasn't going to read. But those back there, these right here are just, I want to display those for people that are interested in reading. Yeah. Yeah, and the Mark Levin book, of course, American Marxism. Yeah, it's a lot of books I have. I got a lot of books that that's not right there that are pretty interesting as well. But those are just, read those. Of course, you read Thomas Sowell, Basic Economics, Black Rednecks, White Liberals. Read that. All right. Let's go to, hold on. Let's go 559 in the line. Who am I speaking to?
This is Richard from California.
All righty. What's going on?
Oh, it's the second time I've been on the call, and I'm grateful for being here. I was listening to the call or the show all through the evening, and I had a couple of things to go on with some folks that have made some calls in. First thing, I'm in California. The only people that are left here are those of us that are forced to be here. Most people always think that California has moved away, and liberals are moving out everywhere. And there's a lot of us patriots that are still here fighting, and they are choking us out thoroughly. The economy is gone. Electricity bills have gone through the roof, gas bills, you name it. So those of us that are still left here are not all blue. We are definitely a lot of patriots still fighting through the Mid-Valley here for our voting rights and for the honesty of California. And the lady was asking about what gun to buy. A 20-gauge shotgun. Buying one with a interchangeable barrel is awesome for her because it was spread out and she doesn't have to be a perfect target inside the home. Her little 38 is great for being able to go around town and having something concealed that she can go to the store with and still be safe, though. On the aliens thing, though, I do have a question. If aliens are out there and they're watching us, why do they have blinking lights? Wouldn't they have enough intelligence not to need blinking lights for space safety? I just question that. What is the real deal with the aliens and that? Yeah. One other thing on the mask stuff, even employers are forcing everybody to have a mask and a mandate. Whether or not to keep your job, they haven't really fired everybody yet, but they are definitely giving us a time frame against OSHA, supposedly forcing us to wear masks and give up our vaccination status. It's just crazy how they can't ask you if you're pregnant, they can't ask you if you have hepatitis, a sexually transmitted disease, gingivitis, or anything else, foot fungus for that matter, but they can demand the status to know the status of your vaccination. And I just stand that it's definitely unconstitutional. And I don't know why big box employers think that they still have to enforce that. But I appreciate letting me on the call again, and you have a great show.
Thank you for the call. I appreciate you.
You betcha. We'll see you later.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Yeah, that whole OSHA thing is going to end pretty soon. I think that they're going to wind up losing that, meaning the federal government. They're not going to be able to use OSHA to enforce these vax mandates on individual regular normies going to work every day that don't work for the federales. It's not going to happen. Let's go to the next one here. Let's go. All right. Let's go 215 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL. How's it going?
It's all good, man. About yourself?
Yeah, everything's good. I had to turn the speaker down in the background, but yeah, I wanted to talk to you about Ted Cruz. Basically, yeah, when I saw the live stream, when I saw him, I heard over when I was watching the TV, and basically what he was saying about January 6th and talking about the community when he called it a terrorist attack. My first thought was, he did not just say what I think he just said. I was like, is he just doing it? I don't know why. And then he's just coming under fire for even labeling it a terrorist attack. I want to hear your thoughts on it.
I thought it was crazy when he was saying it. It's like, why would he do that? I don't understand. It's like he gains nothing from it. He won't gain any favor from the left. They're not going to appreciate what he said. The right are not going to appreciate it. I just don't really get it. You know, I'm not saying that the whole thing was great and it was fantastic, but come on. I mean, let's not dramatize that. All it does is give the left fuel. Say he said it too, because they're trying to use it against us. Yep. So it was really dumb. And then to go on Tucker and then kind of backtrack and kind of grovel was just really strange. It's like, how about just not saying that from the very beginning? Talking about I phrased it improperly. As Tucker was saying, he was a Supreme Court justice hopeful. So, like, you don't get to that point as any kind of lawyer without using your words very carefully. You speak carefully for a living. So he said what he said and he meant what he said. He just regretted what he said later.
Yeah, I watched the coverage when Tucker Carlson, he went on the Tucker Carlson show. Yeah. And Tucker Carlson, I like how Tucker Carlson just literally just called him out of it. Like, dude, I'm not buying your BS. Like, you're a politician. You know what words to say, what not to say. I mean, you do this for a living. So,
absolutely.
And the fact that he literally said, when he said the terrorist attack, those brave officers, I was like, you got it. I was like, are you serious right now? Like, and then you really watch the video from what happened on January 6th. When I saw the video, because I saw the day that it happened, the original day that it happened. Yeah. I mean, I saw some smoke. I didn't see no fire. I was watching. I was just trying to figure out what's going on. And I was thinking to myself, oh, my God, they're going to definitely use this against Trump and the MAGA supporters and all that kind of stuff. And a year later, they're still talking about it. It seems like nobody's really interested anymore.
Right.
And then, and another thing I wanted to touch on, and now another thing I want to touch on about the mother who put the child in the trunk. Talk about child abuse at its finest. That's child abuse, and now she's basically looking at a felony at this point, from what I've heard.
Yeah, I believe so. That might be, yeah.
Yeah, because that's child endangerment, and because a trunk, God forbid, if you were to get into an accident or somebody rear-ended you and the child was in the back and police come on scene, true, she's going to be in she's going to be a ton of trouble. And then now they're also pushing this Omicron. I don't even know if I even had COVID a couple days ago. I had a simple head cold, and it was for like a couple days, and that was it. I was right back to work. I didn't have to quarantine, nothing like that, because basically I overheard this podcast, and I like what he said. He said, if you take care of your health, you won't be susceptible to any disease. You agree with that?
Yeah, I agree for the most part. I mean, because at the end of the day, if you're healthy, that's the main thing, because a lot of your disease comes from your physical condition already. Okay, like this whole thing with the virus is proving it. People that are obese, that's the majority of those who are having very severe symptoms. And if you're elderly, I mean, at a certain point, you can't live forever. But if you're young and you're healthy, like let's say like if you're not 80 years old and you're healthy, you're pretty much good. You're pretty much okay. That's the key.
Exactly. And it's just people, and I heard some people saying, well, but some people that I talked to about it, and they said, okay, but at the end of the day, I still don't want to catch it. And I don't want to sound ignorant, but I'm at the point I'm just telling them, well, then just stay home.
Yeah, I mean,
the rest of us out here.
Yeah, stay home because nothing you do can prevent you from catching it. I mean, if you catch it, you catch it. I mean, maybe you can be lucky and kind of dodge it, but your mask ain't going to work. The vaccine ain't going to work. So just stay home and pray it don't get in your house.
Exactly. And just bunker down. I mean, there's PUA out here. There's enough resources out here, especially for women that want to complain. Oh, here's one more thing. I don't want to take up your time. I want to touch on this. Are they sure they want women? Are those feminists sure that women want equal rights? Because if the feminists want women to have equal rights, be equal to men, get rid of welfare, get rid of what's the other one? Child support, or make the women pay child support. You know, I mean, get rid of a lot of programs that benefit women and children. I mean, are they sure they want to be equal to men?
They have equality now and don't want it, so they don't want any more.
That's funny. I like that because they be in a man's shoes. They tap out real quick. Which I'm not trying to down women or anything.
It's just
of these feminists claim.
Right. It's just nature. That's all. It's biology. I mean, we're different. Like I'm not trying to do what women do. I ain't trying to carry no baby and have cramps once a month. I'm not trying to do it. Okay, they really trying to do that. Just like they don't want to do what we do. We're different, and that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, and I tell a man, and I'm gonna wrap this up. I'm gonna say this real quick. God forbid if a man ever have a baby, I'll tell him right now, you better be prepared to lose your legs and everything. I'm telling you, your whole lower body, because your body's not meant to expand, no matter how many changes you get.
That's right. There you go.
Yeah. Well, thanks for taking my call, ABL.
Thank you for the call, man. Appreciate you.
All right. Have a good one.
Yeah. Shout out to the caller. But you know what I was saying earlier today? I was talking about feminism, just a tweet, and I said that feminism has robbed the majority. Feminism has robbed the majority of power. How did I say it? I want to just read it right quick so I don't say it incorrectly. I said it, I wrote it perfectly, but I forgot what I said. Okay, feminism has taken power away from the majority of men and given it to the minority of men. At the same time, women have become less useful and more unhappy. That's facts. Western world, that's the way it is. Okay, and these feminists are trying to find ways to try and get around that by trying to double down on what they did to get where they are right now, which is not in a good place. It's like, how about you go back to the way things used to be? Oh, the 1950s, you had people getting beat in the head with a tire iron. I mean, come on, let's stop. You know, no more guys are beating their wives right now than they did in the past. So let's just cut the nonsense. But I digress. Thank you guys for being here, but that'll be a wrap for the calls. You guys have been a great audience. I'll be back live again on Wednesday, and I'll probably be doing Tatum's show on Thursday of next week if he does it. And of course, I'll be live again next Saturday, same time, same place, 8 p.m. Eastern time. And of course, I'm here 6 days a week, usually doing my pre-recorded videos twice a day if I got topics. If you have any topic tips, please send them to contact@anthonyblogan.com. Go to the website, anthonyblogan.com. Go to the merch website, ablmerch.com. And if you're listening to me on your favorite audio streaming platform, give me a 5-star rating, a review, a comment. Thank you for that. And if you're listening to me on the YouTubes, please give me a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to the channel right now, please do so. Thank you to the moderators in the chat for keeping the trolls in line. We had a few morons come in the building, but you got them out of here ASAP. But I got some super chats I want to read right quick, and then I'll wrap it on up, put the bow clean on top. And let's go ahead and go to, let me see. Magnus Ver80 says, why is the most dangerous jobs require self-sacrifice, pay the least amount? Well, I'm not sure about that. I mean, what do you mean the most dangerous jobs? Because it depends on what you do. You got guys that go up on the telephone poles in the bucket trucks and fix the linemen. These guys make 6 figures. You got guys that do very dangerous jobs that get paid plenty of money, but there's also guys that work dangerous jobs that don't get paid a lot of money. You got firefighters that don't even get paid at all. 70% of firefighters in the United States are volunteer. They don't get paid at all. So they're, putting out burning buildings. They may even go inside to rescue people and don't even get paid at all. So like where I live, I pay them to protect the house because it's volunteer. So they get some money to operate, but they don't actually get paid as a career. You see what I mean? A lot of college kids and whatnot do that on the side while they're in school, be a volunteer firefighter. 70%. So some people have dangerous jobs that are underpaid, but not all. Okay, some, not all. Take it to a learner who says an artist could sell art on Etsy, Creative Market, Fiverr, and Fiverr. Also, he could sell soundtracks. I know someone making 6 figures on Etsy. Hey, you can make 6 figures in the United States. You could do whatever you want in the U.S. for the most part, unless you're just some kind of way disabled, mentally, physically, or whatever, and that prevents you from being able to get stuff done. Even guys that are disabled can still get money in the U.S. Now, if you're living in a different country, that's not the case. But the U.S., you could do pretty much whatever you want to do if you want to go hard and grind and put your mind to it. If you got talent, whatever, you can make money here in the States. Okay, thank you to VTeller21 for the donation. Thank you to Michael, who says, mass shootings jumped immediately after Biden was, quote, declared winner of the election. It was predicted to happen before. Thank you to, I'm not going to read that F Ranger Xbox. Come on, man, we got a family show. But something cures the virus. I'm not going to read it. Floyd's niece was shot January 4th in her bed. Yeah, luckily she didn't die. Thank God for that. But George Floyd's niece did get shot while in her bed. I think it was a straight bullet came through the window or through the wall of the house. But we ain't talking about that. We're talking about January 6th rather than little kids getting shot in the middle of their bed. I think it's a Blast Radius who says, I'm sick of these old boomers like Ted Cruz and Mitt Romney. These burnt out fossils give the Democrats our weapon every time. They need to go. I'm with you. Thank you to Frank Dest who says, electric and hybrid cars emit EMF radiation much more than standard petrol vehicle. Look it up. There are articles on it. That's interesting. And you know what? They got these Tesla tunnels. Imagine being in a little tunnel. The tunnel is so small. It's like a tube. It's not even like an actual road tunnel. It's like a 1-lane little tube you're in. Like, think about if the tunnel was like this and the car was like that size. I mean, and you be in there with traffic jams and these little Tesla tunnels with radiation all over the place, and let one of them cars blow up in the tunnel. It's a wrap. You're going to be in there trying to fight for your life. Take it to Auctions for You who says, we don't need the money. We don't need the money. We can survive without all the government programs. Facts, big facts. Thank you to Not a Band Account who says, should we suspend the U.S. Constitution to bring this scandemic to a swift end? What powers we bestow will be laid down once the crisis is abated. What you gonna do to end it? By removing the Constitution? How is that going to end the scandemic? It ain't going, you can't end it because viruses don't go away. Viruses are always going to be here. So what you talking about? Like a national lockdown for a month or something? It's not even possible to do that. It wouldn't. I don't understand. Thank you to Raymond who says, always a good show. Cheers. We need you on IRL. Hey, I'm with it. And thank you to Charles Turner Jr. who says, Ted Cruz is a Gen Xer, not a baby boomer. He was born in 1970. Baby boomers were like 64. Okay, before that. Thank you for that, man. Definitely appreciate you. That'll be a wrap for me. I'll be back live again, of course, on Wednesday, probably Thursday on Tatum's channel, and Saturday right here on this channel. But that'll be a wrap. So until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out, and peace.